Welcome everyone to Night on the DL. We're on session 67, and we're in for a doozy. We got our boy Elwarin back. He's back from his trip with his family, which the group will meet up with shortly. And yeah, let's get into it. Zanril, give us an impressive recap, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna do like a summary recap or something.
I'm excited.
Okay, yeah. After our difficult situation with the fire cultists and the earth cultists, we decided to head north towards a small village. Well, end destination is I believe, the Great Forest, right?
High Forest.
To meet High Forest to meet up with Elwarin's family, BigYin's family, and also we have also meet up with Garfield, do some shopping, deal with some warlocks. We have a ton of things to do in the High Forest, but on the way before we head over there, we end up in a village. I forgot the name. What was it called again?
Belliard.
Belliard.
Here,
Okay.
I'll move this to a map that you guys can look at stuff at.
Yeah. We end up at a town at Belliard, restocking, recuperating, getting a ton of reactions, and also a lot of whatchamacallit, caltrops and yeah.
Essentially just caltrops is what you got. And
Yeah,
Future
caltrops, yeah.
and future caltrops.
And future caltrops as well.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
then
be,
yeah, it's gonna be quite hectic, future combat. And then we meet up. The ventures eventually end up at a potion stall or stand, and Zanril ends up failing his attempt to steal from the potion shopkeep, and eventually they go into combat against an interesting Jinn-like being and his flesh golem, and successfully
just so you can see the map, Elwarin. You're not actually there, but just so you have vision.
yeah.
Don't know if you could see before that, so.
Lando successfully destroying all the tentacles along with Ulrich as well. The group is finally defeats the potion shopkeep, and Zanril was able to get a couple of potions.
A couple, he says. What is the number, good sir?
14 potions, sir.
Yeah.
My apologies.
I'm just saying, that's not a couple. That's quite a few, my dude. But yeah, other thing you forgot is the bounty on your guys' heads. Did anybody write down the gold value of that bounty?
Isn't it like I believe 5,000. Yeah, 1,000 per head.
Yeah, so that would also include Elwarin. Yeah, 1,000. I believe it was 1,000 gold per head.
Yeah.
Or per person, so 5,000 total.
Per person. Yep.
We had the great idea to go and turn ourselves in and take the money
and run,
and then probably kill them all and then leave,
so that we wouldn't have to turn ourselves in. We just would go there.
Yeah. Well, we would, to be like, all right, we would have to find somebody who could be like, hey, I'm turning these guys in, and then we just go.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to do before the tent attacked us.
And then we fucking, we go for it.
Well, like I said, you guys would know that the people of this town probably don't have the cash. It's going to be somebody else who's written, like you have to go somewhere else to get it.
Yeah. Ulrich was going to want to talk to the innkeeper because he would at least have a contact. Right, because he's the one who
never said it was like a great plan,
Fair. Well, yeah. But at least we get closer. I don't think it's the innkeeper, right? He's just doing his job. I'm just like, who posted this?
Sure.
It's what, but then we got attacked by a tent. So.
Well, I would argue somebody else attacked the tent first, but that's neither here nor there.
Is walking attacking? I'm not sure.
If you go underneath somebody's nether regions, that's pretty invasive.
It's invasive, but is it an attack? I suppose so.
All right, and we're back. Sorry, I cut out when I asked you guys what you wanted to do with said body in the middle of the tent area. Well, it's in the corner. You guys are in the corner of the tent area.
Oh yeah, we didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured that's where I cut. So I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to tell me what you guys wanted to do. See, because you guys are in the corner of the marketplace, tent gone, 10-foot body, flesh golem, alive and around, just hanging out there.
Ulrich's just like, what the fuck just happened?
I mean, I feel personally attacked.
Yeah,
we got
were
tented.
attacked.
Hey, Elwarin, can you roll a d10 for me, please?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, continue, guys.
BigYin is just kind of like looking around, like kind of exuding confusion, using his persuasion skills to try and just like try and just persuade people that we are all innocent and confused by all this. It's like
there's nobody around you right now.
Oh, that's good. It's like, so wait, there's no one around us. Like no one can see us. Like, what's the visibility like? Because the map is basically empty and there's the corpse, so we don't have any reference. So can you kind of like give us a picture?
I'll paint you a small little picture here. Why not? Because we all know I'm known for my my artist style.
Mm-hmm.
This was the tent essentially, right? It was like that.
Beautiful.
The marketplace goes that way, right? And so there is another tent. You guess probably 50 feet away. That doesn't seem to have a lot of people around it over here.
Oh.
So the tent is gone now, correct? We're all in agreement that the tent is gone. So this no longer exists.
The tent is gone.
And it goes this way towards the marketplace, and the marketplace continues to kind of wrap around this way. And you guys are just kind of at the tail end of this tent of the marketplace area. So like I said, there aren't too many people around over here, but you do hear hustle and bustle, people, maybe 120 or 300 feet away. Somewhere in that general area from here, essentially. You can see them, Ulrich. The rest of you guys are kind of stuck behind the visibility of this tent, but or you can see people, roughly 300 feet this way. So you can hear some amount of noise, but it's not like, unless people are like specifically trying to eavesdrop on you, they probably wouldn't hear you if you guys are just talking normally.
Sure.
Okay. So, DM, my next question is, I'm assuming because we cut the guy ropes of the tent thing, when the tent flew away, the djinn went with it, and we cut all the strings.
You didn't cut anything. Everything just disappeared.
Okay, so everything disappeared. We're just stuck with a corpse.
Essentially, yeah. You got a flesh golem on the ground that's not animated anymore.
I wanted to burn it.
Okay.
No, it might have some good stuff inside there.
Okay, well, can I search it first before I burn it then? I guess, what is that, a survival?
You're gonna roll investigate. No, so there's that flaps in the back that you guys can just open up fairly easily. Then you gotta roll investigation to see what you find in there. Yeah,
Hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this just like out in the open.
I agree. We should get off the street.
I do have dust of disappearance. Maybe we got.
Maybe I'm just saying, maybe we should just like pull his body to like behind a tent or something.
Oh yeah, we could do it with this tent right here, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of just housekeeping.
Yeah, look like shady people,
Yeah, this isn't shady at all. 4 people standing around a dead body.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a flesh corpse. All right, like it's perfectly in line with our regular activities. So let's not make a big doohickey for this one.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with what we've done. I'm just saying, someone looks over the wrong way. 4 people stand around a large body.
And we'll just tell them. We'll just tell them like, hey, it was
hey,
there.
it's here. You know how it goes sometimes.
I don't know how it got here. Yeah.
Great. No problem. It looks a little bit more suspicious if we're digging around its back.
I agree.
I stand by what I said.
So, DM, where's the nearest shelter where we can drag this thing and spelunk a bit further?
I think that would be the tent that he already described.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the tents are they do come all the way down, so you could, I guess, feasibly drag it over here. But it is a marketplace, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, just enough so that not every passerby sees us. Is all Ulrich is trying for.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, you guys.
We're looking just for a little bit of cover here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys drag the body over there, so you guys are moving
Man, since when have we ever been subtle? Like, why would we?
So I guess when was the last time you guys were in a town?
Intelligently.
Yeah, when was the last time you guys were in a town where you looted a body? Is the better question.
We tend to keep that to dungeons, I guess.
I mean,
Ulrich, are you keeping a watch then? Ulrich, is that your game plan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Cool.
I'm not interested in looting, so Ulrich's just gonna try to slow anyone.
Sure. Passive perception or active perception? What would you like to have? I think this is active because you're actively looking around. Would be my guess.
Am I? I mean,
you're like actively like. Oh, if you're not, that's fine. You can use passive. That's fine too.
Right, because I'm not like. I don't think that we're actually in any trouble, right?
Sure.
So
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can passively watch.
I'm not like actively looking for an assailant.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. So you guys dive inside of it. Lando, BigYin, and Zanril, with all of your guys' combined investigations, you find the following. Please get your pencils and papers out, boys and girls.
Oh, yeah.
You find 700 copper pieces.
700 copper pieces.
8,000 silver pieces.
700 copper. What was that again?
7,000 copper, 8,000 silver.
Nope. 700 copper.
Sorry, 700 copper, 8,000 silver.
Yep.
8,000 silver. Okay.
2,500 gold pieces.
2,500 gold pieces.
90 platinum pieces.
Oh shit.
90 platinum PP.
You guys find one magical arrow. It's a +1 arrow. You guys have seen these before because Elwarin has purchased them before.
Mm-hmm.
A cap of water breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find 5, essentially what look like art pieces of some sort or something you can sell, worth, you're not sure what they're worth right now, but you find a black velvet mask stitched with silver thread. You find 2 of those in there. A small gold bracelet. A copper chalice with a silver filigree. And a cloth of gold vestments within the back of this flesh column that's no longer animated. And I will say this, Zanril and BigYin, when you were in the void space, there were a lot more things than this there. But it seems that most of it is gone. And I would like to say all of this stuff is fairly gooey and icky. Like you would have to clean off all of those, like the stitched leather, the mask, like the bracelet, you'd have to clean off all of that stuff.
I think that's my favorite description you've given so far.
Gooey.
I'm just
gooey and icky.
Yeah, like I said, I described how you guys felt like when you guys were getting opened out. It's like you were cracking open an egg and there was creatures inside of the egg, right? You got that weird goo that's over you and covering your eyes that made you unable to like see. Same thing is on these items inside there.
How long are these guys rummaging around the back of this flesh golem?
Yeah, so I was about to get into that, right? So they're like fully into it, right? Like all 3 of them have like hands are in, like their arms are like, it's literally like they're diving in chest height almost into the space. During this time, about 4 or 5 different individuals seem to be walking this way, Ulrich. And you can try to get their attention, but they are deep in there trying to get all these things. So you have an opportunity to dissuade these few people from venturing on this way and discovering what's happening.
Yeah, I would just like walk over and intercept them.
Sure, yeah. It's 4 dudes. They look like they're merchant travelers. Nothing too crazy. They're just saying, hey.
Hey, howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing today?
It's a fine and dandy day. I'm here to come see the potion seller. I heard he was on this side of the street.
Oh, look at me. I'm fucked up right now. I've been looking for him too.
You do look like you got wrecked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, because you're like bleeding from multiple areas, like battered and bruised. Like you're not looking great.
No, yeah.
I'll just kind of.
I've been looking for him too.
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
I've been back there.
Okay.
I've been back this way for sure. I've been wandering around. They told me it's back here. I haven't seen a goddamn thing. And so basically, I'm just trying to hold their conversation.
Yeah. You're not trying to persuade necessarily. You're just trying to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And they're like, huh? They swore they said there was this old man named Sid that sold potions. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
I heard the same thing you heard. I'm telling you, look at me. I'm in dire need of some sort of potion.
Do you want us to like
what kind at this
Do you want
point.
us to like bring you to like a medic? There's a medic in the town. We can get you patched up. It's gonna cost you.
I'll tell you what, buddy. A medic's not gonna do anything for this.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough.
I've been to many a medics in my day. This is you know what? I think I need a nap. Really, y'all know where there's like an inn or something.
Oh yeah. Come follow me, and they take you towards the inn.
Hell yeah!
Perfect. Mission successful. Mission successful.
I mean, now you don't have a watch, but
yeah. And like you said, you guys are still digging in there. As you guys are kind of coming out, and you guys have like gathered all your stuff. Like I said, they're gooey and icky, right? Like it's not. These are not things you could sell at the current point in time, nor could you use the gold that you have acquired. However, you guys feel footsteps approaching from this side over here, and you no longer see Ulrich there. What is your guys' move?
We gather up, ditch the corpse, and
ditch the corpse.
Well, no, we just leave the corpse.
Can we just carry it to the cart? I think
through a city. Where's the? We didn't leave. We didn't drive the cart through the market. We left it outside the market area.
Yeah.
Oh, like I have dust. I have dust of disappearance.
This is
Does
true.
that make us invisible?
Yeah, it makes us invisible for 2d4 minutes. So we can have enough time.
Okay, let's do it. Because you know what? You're quite right, and we know someone who might want this corpse. But we need a way of preserving it so it doesn't go bad.
I don't think it would go bad.
So
I can burn it.
So just roll a straight Arcana or Intelligence check for me. One of you guys. All three of you guys, really up to you.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Okay, BigYin knows. BigYin, you know that this body is a flesh golem, and there's no rotting left to be done. This creature has been preserved, and it's going to stay the way it is for as long as it needs to.
Okay, flesh golem. I mean, does my earring work? Can I tilt? I'll tilt my head in the way I kind of do when I'm trying to use the earring. Garfield.
Oh yes, BigYin.
No.
What more can I do for you today?
I'm
always. Oh, do tell. What do you say?
I'm here to offer you a business idea.
Oh, do tell.
We've come across a flesh golem. Does that have any interest for you?
A
dead flesh golem, but a flesh golem nonetheless.
All right, hard answer. I will give you guys in the ballpark of 15,000 gold pieces for it.
Right, we'll bring it to you.
It better be in one piece, BigYin.
Oh no, it's definitely in one piece. We cut the strings of the puppet master and it collapsed. Though it did eat Zanril and me. We got out in the end. It opened up in the back, it swallowed its whole. It was very interesting.
Yes.
Bring a pocket dimension on the
inside. Yes. Just bring it inside. So that was a lie, by the way. There's no pocket dimension inside there.
That is?
There's no pocket dimension inside.
Then what were we trapped inside of it?
Magic pocket dimension
from the puppet master?
Yeah. So he created when he was connected with the flesh golem, he had a pocket dimension.
Which is why when his strings got broken off, you guys were able to be retrieved.
Yeah. Got it. Now I understand. Okay.
A fleshy handbag.
Essentially, you have
Are we able to put him in the bag of holding?
Yes, you could.
Oh, that would be probably more convenient.
Can we? The thing is, can the bag of holding expand to actually fit him in it?
Bag of holding can hold this. Yeah.
Yeah, you just put one arm in.
Probably use your disappearing dust soon.
Right. Use the dust of disappearance, and then we'll stash him in the bag of holding.
So go ahead and burn this dust of disappearance.
You gotcha. I'll do that.
What?
Oh yeah, I'll roll 2d4.
I was waiting for you. Yeah, this is all you, brother. I don't need to roll for it.
3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So I need you guys to roll an athletics or strength check, actually. Just strength check to get it shoved in there within the 3 minute time. Nope, not a strength. It's not a save. Just regular strength check.
Oh, sorry. I thought I rolled strength check. There we go.
Oh, I suck. I suck at this. Oh, nice.
By sheer force of will of the BigYin, you guys are able to get this in there as your time expires with the Dust of Disappearance. And as your time expires with Dust of Disappearance, you see a gentleman clad in gold vestments with kind of like a silver tunic with a gold kind of vest on top of that with brown pants. Walk over and say, "Huh, I didn't know Sid could leave." Shrugs his shoulders and walks away. And as he's walking away, that's when your guys' dust wears off.
Oh, well, shit. Good thing we used the dust, I guess. Seems
Hey,
like
that was
would've been
damn
dangerous.
handy. Do you have any more of that?
No.
Just no. Excellent.
We'll have to get more.
Well, if you want to turn into a puddle, I got something for that.
I'm not sure a puddle will do us any good.
That sounds really ominous.
Yeah. Cool. So from there, we'll head over to Ulrich and his escapades into the inn.
I hope there's not escapades.
You'll find out, won't you? As you travel to the inn, these four gentlemen, like I said, seemingly merchants, get you into the inn and say, "Oi, innkeeper!" And you see a portly fellow, probably in his mid to late 60s. He kind of like Lando when he walks. There's a little bit of a jiggle on his belly, but Lando's obviously much more intensified. Rosy cheeks, rosy cheeks, gray wispy beard, head full of hair still, but definitely stark white. And he's like, gentlemen, what have you brought? Do you need medical attention, old man?
Nah, I just need like a nap, like, good meal, hang out on a bench for a while. I'll be fine.
I can get you a room here. It's 1 gold piece, and you can rest up and have as much food as you'd like.
I flip him a gold.
Cool.
Same here. I also
You're not
need
there.
to rest.
You're not there.
You-
Brother.
What?
You're digging through the back of a flesh golem right
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Town's not very large. It takes them a couple of minutes just to get to the inn. It's not a very large town.
now.
Yeah. And he says, "Okay, right this way." And he leads you to a room on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, and I think Ulrich was also like playing up the damaged
Oh,
old
yeah.
man angle.
I
So
mean,
he's,
were
like, really,
incredibly like effed up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
really limping along to really slow this group down.
Sure. Yeah. And he shows you to this room. And he says, "Would you like any food or drink brought to your room? I can get some medical supplies for you as well."
Nah, none of that. I'll be fine. I just, like I said, just hang out. I'll come down to the common room in a bit and get my food.
Okay. All right. Well, here's your key. He hands you the key, and he says, "Hopefully you feel better." And he heads downstairs. Yeah. And at this time, the three of you guys. Okay. What are you trying to perceive?
Just making sure it's not a trap because I know I'm wanted, and the innkeeper was who they would turn me into.
So remember, these were just vague descriptions of you guys.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, nothing seems to be out of the sorts.
Rick's like going along with it, like, because he is still a conspiracy theorist at heart.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you guys would know that there is just fairly vague descriptions in this town, versus like in Red Larch they had like full blown pictures of you guys.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ulrich is just like on the inside, just like these people are turning me in for the bounty, and the innkeeper's in on it, and they're gonna take me up to a prison cell.
Yeah, and they're gonna clamp you in irons and take away all your
exactly.
magic stuff.
This key that they handed me has a demon inside of it, and I'm
gonna
gonna
absorb
be
you.
possessed.
You're gonna get absorbed into the key, and then they'll just walk away with the key.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, who knows, right? Who knows with magic stuff?
That's exactly Ulrich's process. He
Yeah.
steps into the room, does a quick perception check.
Yeah, nothing out of the
See if
ordinary.
there's anything out of the ordinary. Closes the door,
Just-
locks it.
There's just a bed in this room, and like, that's
Goes to
essentially.
is there a window?
No, you are in a inner room. There's no window in this one.
All right.
Yeah.
And then he's just gonna drag the bed over to the door.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool.
You know, the classics.
Yeah, the classics. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so while all this is happening, you guys have successfully stuffed this flesh golem into the bag. Where are you guys heading off to next? The three that remain that aren't in an inn. And you guys would have no idea where Ulrich has gone at this point.
I'll look at Lando and I'll say, pub?
Pub.
All right.
Maybe an inn, so I
Yeah.
can get a rest and then also drink.
Sure, yeah.
You
So
know,
you guys head towards the inn.
Actually,
Yeah.
maybe drink first, then rest.
The
Yeah.
group's like, oh, finally, Ulrich's gone.
Yeah, and so from there, he like yeah, you guys head to the inn. Like I said, it's a small town. The inn is the like largest building in the area. It's kind of the focal point of the town. You guys find yourself getting there fairly easily. Your cart and horses are pulled up next to the inn, and yeah, you guys are just hanging out. And you guys walk over to the innkeeper. Same portly fellow, long wispy beard, but now has no. I'm kidding. Still has white hair. I was gonna make a joke that his hair is now turned black to mess with you guys, but then I just felt the then I felt the vampire vibes coming back.
That's not funny.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a vampire thing all over again. I was like, I don't want to deal with this.
Is he gonna eat a fucking kid again?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Maybe he ate Ulrich already. Who knows?
R.I.P. Kenny.
maybe that room that Ulrich is in that has no windows is just his belly. Who knows? Yeah, so you guys are there, and he says, three gentlemen, what can I do for you today? Food, beverage, room?
Beverage, food, yes.
Yes.
And a wee bit of some medical supplies, if you have any.
Yes.
Medical supplies.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of fucked up except for Zanril. Zanril just looks kind of icky. Zanril didn't take any damage.
You're
last
all
fight.
gooey. I love the idea of you guys walking into the inn all gooey.
Yeah, you guys are pretty gross looking. Yeah,
I'll just like look at him. It's like I could use a wee bit of a bath.
Yeah, and he kind of looks. He's like, "Oh, so you're not like this normally? That's quite good to hear. I was concerned about having to clean up after you."
We had a wee bit of trouble, and I'm just being convincing and jovial. It's like we had a wee bit of trouble on the road. It was rather nasty. We're looking to get cleaned up.
On the road. Usually the guards would have said something if you looked like this when you came in. Intriguing.
Aye, we explained. They were the ones who pointed us in your general direction.
Oh, I'll check in with them once we're done here. Next time, I guess I can.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Tonight.
I'm being persuasive.
Not
You-
well.
Deceptive, actually.
Yeah, you're being deceptive.
Oh, fine, deceptive, but
Like I said, but the issue here, right, is like, I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and roll it, I guess, but okay, yeah. Like I said, he believes you, right? Yeah, like I said, he believes you. He's not disagreeing with what you said, but his modus operandi, from what you can tell, is he just talks like he's the guy of the town. So like, if weird shit is rolling through, he's the first to hear about it. So, like I said, yeah, he believes you. Like I said, he doesn't not believe you guys, right? But he's still like gonna have to talk to the guards to make sure your story checks out.
So, yeah, he's not necessarily to check out, but be like, hey, like, what
Yeah,
the fuck is that?
Yeah,
what
like,
could have caused these gooey
yeah, exactly.
people?
Like, did they like talk about fighting an onkeg or some shit, and they like really needed to get in the inner system? Like, what? Like, what's the story there? Like I said, it's not that he doesn't believe you. It's just to, like, get an understanding, like, from what the guards know, essentially.
so great. In an attempt to allay suspicion, I basically just made it worse.
I feel like it's standard BigYin though.
God damn it!
Also, I wouldn't say you made it worse. You
Why
just
is this
delayed.
campaign against me?
You just
I'm
the
trying to
problem.
use my deception skills and roll awesome for once, and
You
it just
did.
gets even worse.
No, you did roll
God
well.
damn it!
Bro, you did good.
You like think if you had rolled worse, right? The guards may have been summoned immediately. You guys would not have been able to move forward from the spot.
But you
right?
delayed them.
Yeah, you delayed them. Whether this town will trust you again, who knows, right? But like you have successfully delayed any interaction with guards based off the lie you chose to tell. You could have just said like, yeah, something exploded on us or something like that. They would have been like, ooh, yeah, okay. But that's fine. It's not, like I said, not a huge deal at the end of the day. So yeah, he's like, yeah, it'll be a gold for the room. It comes with all your food and drink for the night, and yeah, Yeah, that'll include the medical kit as well for each of you guys. You guys will accept rooms, or it'll be 1 gold and 5 silver for a room with 2 beds, or for a room with 3 beds, it'll be 2 gold.
I'd be shedding lads out to get their own rooms.
It's cheaper.
We can share.
I'll pony up.
I already ponied up a gold.
I'll put
Okay.
up a gold.
All right, so yeah, so 2 gold, and he takes that. And he's like, excellent, excellent. He shows you guys upstairs, and it is a fairly large room. He opens the door for you guys. Very large room. There are 2 windows in this one, on the back end and on the right end. As you guys can imagine, you're on a corner room, and you guys see 3 beds kind of allotted there with 2 desks and a tub roughly the size of a, I don't know, probably like 4 feet wide in diameter tub. Circular tub with water and some soap and other stuff like that in there.
Nice.
He says, I think this will meet all of your needs.
For
Excellent.
sure.
Where might I get cleaned up?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
he just
Oh my God.
looks at you very, he's like, he kind of leans over to Lando. Can he see all right? Do I need to?
No.
You know,
DM,
and
my
I'll just-
brain farted. I thought I missed
No,
the
this is fine.
description of the bathroom,
It's
I
no,
literally was.
it's fine. Like I said, in character, this is great.
And then I'm gonna just whisper into the innkeeper's ear, like, don't listen to anything he's told you at all. You know, and then I'm just gonna slip him a gold and just be like, thanks for, you know, being a guy.
Okay, and he takes
So-
a little, tucks in his pocket,
And
and
then,
walks out of the
like,
room.
I'll hit him with like I'll hit him with like a wink, you know, just like buying his silence, basically.
He gives you a wink also
Yeah,
as he walks out the room.
nice.
Insight check.
Okay.
Seeing if you actually like.
So you think that he's not going to tell anybody, but he's still going to eventually be asking the guards about how you guys came in here based off the lie that BigYin said.
Way to go.
Like I said, you have delayed further with that 1 gold piece, but eventually it will come to light when he talks to the guards.
That's right. We won't be there.
Yeah. It would probably be like, a couple days from now.
Yeah.
When he asks
Yeah.
about it. Like, you guys should be out of the city by then. Fingers crossed, because I've been keeping Elwarin. Y'all have been dragging this along. Let me tell you.
Okay, we take our baths.
Yeah, you guys get ready. You guys get changed, and you clean yourselves off and all that jazz. That's fine.
Yeah, get rid of the gunk, the
yeah.
gooey, icky.
Yeah, and so in this tub, you could also clean off the items you got out of the golem.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Can I do a check in the shit that we've done?
An Arcana check? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can check to see if any of those items you found are magical.
Cool.
None of them are.
They're not magical that you can tell.
Oh god, my luck for these have gone pretty far by the wayside recently.
It's how it goes. But the team believes in your Arcana skills because of.
I love it. I know.
everything
Like
so
we're like,
far.
oh,
he
Lando
says so.
it's not magical.
Yeah, he says so. I mean, obviously, you
Oh.
guys know the magic arrow is magical because you guys have seen it before. But everything else not magical.
As far as I know, or
Yep.
it is magical, and alright, I just don't know if it's magical or not.
No, as far as you
We
know,
don't
they're
know.
not magical.
Yeah.
Aside from the arrow, because you guys have seen Elwarin purchase those before.
Let me check.
Nope, you would believe Lando.
Fuck.
There's no reason for you to also check it after he's already done it.
Well, there's every reason to do that.
I would just see. That's only because you guys can see what the role is. If this was like real life, right? Your friend looks over your stuff. That's who's usually really good at this. Is like, yeah, no, this stuff is magical, but we got some cool stuff. You guys would be like, oh, cool.
So what is that how we're playing now? Like we can't all just join in and do the same shit over and over
You
again?
have to do it
Like,
at the
there's no
same
way?
time without knowing what the role is. Because otherwise, you guys could just infinitely roll to get the result you want.
Well, I guess they were all talking about rolling right when I fucking rolled. I guess I don't know.
It's good. You like I said, you checked it out. They found out what they found out, and that's where we're at. A person that wasn't with you guys, a la Elwarin, perhaps, or Ulrich, which I don't think Ulrich would do. They might be able to check, but the 3 of you guys are fairly content. Aside from the magical arrow, nothing else in there is magical.
Right. Well, shall we? So we get cleaned up, and
Yep.
I'm assuming.
Should we find
Is this
Ulrich?
the only tavern in town?
Only in town, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, will you find Ulrich? That is a good question.
Should we find Ulrich? He kind of
Ulrich had one
disappeared
of the
on
sending
us.
stones, right? I had the other.
Elwarin has.
Elwarin has the other.
Oh, Elwarin has the other.
Yeah. I looked at my inventory and it said sending stone to Elwarin.
Okay, you're
And
right.
I was like,
good thing.
shit.
Um,
So I was like, I can just send them a message and everything will be resolved.
No, sir. You guys have divided up your sending stones accordingly. Which, like, throughout this entire time, you haven't received a call from Elwarin.
Sure.
Unsurprisingly, because he's
He's
parents.
abandoned us like everyone else does.
I mean, he
As
did
far as-
leave for a reason. He said he's going to meet you guys in a place. So
As far
I
as
guess do with that
Ulrich's
what you will.
concerned.
Sure, yeah. I guess do with that what you will. I guess, but yeah. Nobody else has
assuming
said that
since
they
I'm
will meet
cleaned
you.
up,
in
I'll
another
go
place.
downstairs.
Do I get a short rest in?
Sure. Yeah, you guys can spend an hour and take a short rest. You guys can roll your hit die and get some resources back as all. But I mean, you guys could also just sleep later and then regain
why don't
everything.
we
It's up
just
to you guys.
Yeah, I
doing
think we're
a-
okay.
You guys can also head out onto the road whenever you want. Also,
Well,
right?
yes. After a short rest, so after about an hour, Ulrich will come out. But
Because that's the amount of time it would take us all to get cleaned up, anyways.
He is a worried and anxious individual, so he would try to be at tip-top shape.
Sure. Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
my friends?
Go ahead and roll your hit die. Yeah, no worries. You're gonna have to roll a lot of these, brother. You got messed up.
There you go. That's as far as I'm going.
Sure.
Oh, that's good. There. Oh, never
The
mind.
dichotomy of Lando. Then I was just like, yeah. So about that combat, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. No, I did something. I
Zanril
picked
just
potions.
chilled. Yeah, he got a lot of potions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not-
So
got
I guess
potions.
during this hour, you could tell the
Not
other
the
three,
one.
the other two. You can tell the other two
Unfortunately.
what you pulled out if you would like to. This would be a good time while you guys are resting and cleaning up. You tell the other three or other two because Ulrich isn't there. What you found, or you can wait till you get on the road. It's up to you.
Xander was like the kind of guy who'd be like, if asked to, he would answer the question rather than like, oh, hey guys, look what I
Just
found.
offering
It's just like,
information.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
but
it's
nobody
just
would have
like-
known that you grabbed potions, right? So that's all. That's
Yeah,
all we're
yeah.
doing. So like I said, it's fine.
so
Cool. All right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming Ulrich would ask.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe he
So-
will when you guys are on the road.
Once I'm cleaned up, and I
Yeah.
cleaned up all the art stuff, and we cleaned up all the artsy fartsy stuff,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go downstairs and have a beer, and I
Okay.
just figured that, and like this is all under the assumption that if Ulrich wasn't there looking for us, he probably went to the inn to get cleaned up, and so I'm expecting to find him in the pub.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go downstairs into the common room and have a beer.
Yeah, you'll find him down there already. I think Ulrich, you probably posted up into a dark corner though to prevent eyes from getting a full look at you.
I'm gonna be the shadowy figure in the corner of the inn
Yep.
that a level 1 adventurer would come to for an adventure.
Or level 3, or 5, or 20, depending on what's the adventure.
Right.
entailing. Yeah.
Like
So as I come down the stairs, I'm gonna be like, not quite actively looking around, but just like kind of being subtle about my attempt to perceive the room and see who's in there.
Okay.
Do I spot my good buddy?
Roll stealth, I guess, Ulrich, and then you can go for passive perception.
oh hell yeah, this is gonna be a terrible roll.
Do you have your armor on?
I know.
Remember, my
yeah.
passive perception is 10. So you have to beat a
and I
10.
have
A
Oh,
5. Yeah, so you see him. But he feels like he's very well hidden in his dark corner. But the dark corner is just dark behind him. It's not dark where he's sitting.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
have
like-
a hood on, and that's essentially all of the
Yeah,
hiding I'm doing.
Exactly, yeah. He is the
All right.
shadow that's being cast on the back of the wall. But the hood is definitely covering like the very first part of his eyebrows, but he can still see from with his eyes.
Okay. So once I spot him, I just kind of, as I come down the stairs, I'm gonna make it like I spot him, but I don't react.
Okay.
I will just kind of like keep going down the stairs, and I'll walk up to the pub landlord, and I'll get a beer, get some food.
Okay, so stop there.
And then
Ulrich, you see BigYin walk down the stairs because you've been kind of just eyeing the space, and then you see him not even notice you, and you're thinking, "Damn, shouldn't have found such a good hiding spot." As he approaches
This is
the
perfect.
bar.
Now I gotta see what
Yeah.
he does when he thinks no one's watching him.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Continue. I just wanted to give Ulrich that insight into how he feels based off you not clocking him.
And I'll get a couple of beers.
Okay.
Actually, I'll get one beer.
Okay.
And what food does he have on offer?
Regular bar food. He's got some meat, some breads that have been like freshly baked, and some roasted vegetables in a like stew. The meat.
I'll go with stew and some crusty bread.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. The meat is in the stew.
Yeah, I'll go with stew and crusty bread.
Cool. Yeah, he gives it to you.
And what'll that cost me?
Part of the cost of the room in this town.
All right, I'll drop an electrum on the bar anyways.
Okay, he takes it.
And
No comment. No comment. He just takes it.
I'll just say thank you.
That man
And
just
then,
dropped 5 gold pieces down. No problem. Or sorry, 5 silver pieces.
5
down.
silver,
No problem.
yeah.
No
Yeah,
problem.
half a gold.
Dude's been making
Yeah.
bank today.
True.
And
We're not
I'll
even staying for the whole night. Also,
Yeah,
I'll
that's what I'm
just
saying.
quietly walk, and then I'll just quietly walk over to the table and sit down and say, "You're looking a wee bit better."
Ulrich, this would come to a surprise.
yeah. How'd you know I was here? You got some sort of tracking device on me?
No, I'll just, as I put my food and beer down, I'll just point to my eyes and say, "I saw you."
Doubtful.
Well, I'm
whatever.
Weird, am I not?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
And then it's like, are there shadows there? Are there any shadows
behind him?
is it
Like I
a-
said, behind him.
I'll
He
say,
he
"Budge up."
he is creating the shadows, you could say.
Okay, so budge up a little bit, and then I don't have I got rid of the invisibility to be able to hide, the ability to hide in shadows. Aw, that would have been really fun. Just be like, "This is how you disappeared," and I just kind of fade into the shadow.
So I would like to be clear for everybody. This man is the one who's bemoaning me for giving him that thing. Immediately removes it, and then he's like, "Man, it would have been so cool if I kept that." That's all I
Yeah,
want to
bro.
say. That's all I
No,
want to say.
it's fine. No, I mean, valid point. You can mock me for it as much as you want, but I'm just like, I was like, oh, this would have been like a good opportunity just to fuck with Lando, not Lando, Ulrich, and do this. But I mean, it's okay. I made a decision based on my ability, my desire to be more effective in combat.
I just found the irony of you bringing it up after you removed it after I had given it to you with your new character.
Well, finally, it's like the first time I actually get to use it where it was actually fucking applicable.
Listen, man.
Just
these things,
only to fuck with your fellow player.
Yeah. True warlock, am I right here, guys? True demon.
Also, probably would have looked a little weird if you actually did hide in the shadows while
Perhaps.
sitting in an inn room. But
perhaps, but who knows?
Anyway,
cool. Yeah. So you guys are together. I'll say probably around this time is when Zanril and Lando probably head down as well. And you guys can see both of them clearly. Neither of them are hiding anymore necessarily. I mean, I guess Ulrich is trying, but with the 5, you guys all see him. So you guys can
plus
all...
Lando's sitting next to him. So
yeah, so I'm saying you guys can all convene together if you would like. At this point,
Zanril's gonna make it look like, oh, where the heck is Ulrich at? Despite knowing where he is.
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. He sees that Ulrich is trying to be stealthy, and he's like, I gotta give him something for that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, the man doesn't stealth often, but when he does, let me give him rewards.
Let me give him the credit.
Yeah, so you guys are all around the table together. You guys all have some stew and some bread and some beers if you choose to. Yeah, what is your guys' game plan now?
So I'll like tell. Oh,
Ulrich's just be like, so that was fucking weird, right?
Agreed. But we've made a very tidy windfall. In fact, it will increase by a total. But it'll increase the whole 15,000 gold once we find if and when we find our good friend Garfield. He'll take the flesh golem off us for 15,000 gold.
15 grand. All we gotta do is bring him a body.
I think it was 1,500, right?
No, 15,000.
No, 15,000.
15,000. Oh,
You guys don't
beautiful.
understand how like uncommon flesh golems are. Like, anyways, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah.
And the fact that it's in one piece too. So it's like, hey, 15,000. We
Pretty
put them in
good.
the, we put them in the and I'm talking very quietly.
Sure.
We put them in the bag of holding. And it's not like he'll rot.
I mean, that's a good deal.
Aye.
It's a real good deal. You know, too bad we gotta deal with your family problems.
Oh yeah.
We'll
True.
figure that out when we do. And then I'll ask a quick question. So, are we dividing this up amongst the four of us, or are we putting a portion aside for Elwarin?
The
I
four
mean,
of
the
you.
rules is,
Yeah, it's the people who are there.
yeah,
And people who contributed.
contribute to the fight,
Yeah.
that's how we divvy this up. We
Correct.
discussed this a long time ago.
Correct,
Well, at least he
correct.
gets the arrow, right?
I mean, sure, yeah, I'll give him the arrow.
They're like, no, we'll just hold it and stab somebody with it, because
I
you
mean,
know.
I'm not gonna do
Plus
anything
one
with it.
arrow.
Too kind. Too kind.
Know that I tried to get you some. I actually did the
It's good.
math in my notes so that
good.
it would actually come out to all five of us. But
No, it's
you know,
good. You guys got 4 people.
apparently,
You guys have 4 people. It's good. It's all good.
Oh, we could get 2 platinum to him. We got 2 PP left.
There you go. There you go. Elwarin gets a whopping 20 gold for just being alive still at the end of this. I love
Not
it.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not
Honestly.
bad. And a magical arrow.
Yeah, hey, you take
And
that.
then like there's 5 art pieces worth, like, I don't know, but you
We'll
know,
have to
we
find
get
out.
each of our piece, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Put it on our family wall, our family like, you know,
Yeah,
house,
why not?
you know.
Why not? Cool. All right. Yeah. So what is your guys' game plan now? Are you guys leaving? What else are you doing? You guys, you have all your stuff on you, I would say, unless you chose to keep it in the room.
I think we're heading out, right? Like,
yeah.
Ulrich doesn't want to be in this town for longer than he needs to be, since again they are wanted.
Cool. So yeah. So you guys. Okay. Good.
Oh, kind of like I fucked with the potion guy, and people are wondering where the fuck he is. So yeah, that too would be like something we should like start heading out for.
Yeah, probably.
Before they start investigating people.
Sure. Checking out boot sizes and seeing dragged bodies, perhaps. Who knows? Tons of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. So you guys finish your meal. You guys head out.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. You guys can travel about half the distance you're used to because you guys have half the day left essentially. Or no, sorry. It is getting towards nighttime is what I would say. So you guys can travel a little bit more before you feel like you'd have to put up shop.
okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And at that point, it's when we stop that we'll divvy out all the gold. So,
Okay. You guys get
all right. So this is what everyone gets minus Elwarin. So, everyone
I've been in
gets.
chat.
Oh, you broke it all down?
Yeah, 175 CP. It's like above the
Nope.
gifts.
That tallies with. I see it. That tallies with my math.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys have utilized calculators. That's what I do whenever I have gold to divvy up between people. Just calculator.
Mm-hmm.
I just do the math in my head.
Wow, what a genius!
Wow, bro, so
Nah.
smart.
Yeah,
Smarter than me.
Somebody can do math.
Damn, jealous.
Cool. All right, yeah. So you guys are on the road
Gosh.
for about 6 more days before you get to the High Forest. This is before you guys get to BigYin's village.
Boys, I got enough gold to buy plate mail.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. So it can
Is
be
that like-
eaten by a symbiote.
Is that like the same, or in combining with your silver pieces and your platinum pieces?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If I combine everything, I can buy a suit of armor.
Nice.
Yo, you could get something more once we sell the flesh golem, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why settle with a plate armor when you get a magical plate armor?
I can't afford that.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
If plate armor costs 1,500 gold plus 1 plate armor, is going to be wildly more expensive.
Oh yeah. Cool. Here, let's go to the world map. And Yeah, you guys get to here, and it's at this point that you guys meet up with Elwarin and his parents and two other guests that, if you guys roll history checks for me, I can give you some information about. They're also in a cart.
History.
Man, I'm doing so well today.
You guys are.
History. Oh. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So Elwarin, you pull up with your parents and the other two people that you know of, and you see the four of these guys kind of camped out on the road where your parents like had marked to camp out, which is roughly here. Before you guys start heading into the high forest, because that's the best territory for your parents and yourself, because you guys know it so well. So you just wanted to get to the road to as close as you could to the high forest. Then you have the least amount of distance to travel on kind of open space where shit could go to south sort of thing before you got to the forest. And you see these four gentlemen with their cart and their horses kind of saddling up for the night. As the four gentlemen that I will call you guys, whether that's what you are or not is a different story. See Elwarin's. You see his mom and his father in the front in the cart, kind of just getting these horses in, and you see Elwarin, and you see two other people. Ulrich, you feel a sense of ire towards one of them, but you can't quite place why. BigYin and Lando, you're just like, oh, okay, there's some other people there. Zanril, no idea.
Who the fuck they are?
Yeah, no idea what the hell's going on. You're just like, oh,
my hand like near Black Star, kind of like fiddling it, just in case.
Just in case, yeah. You do recognize Elwarin, but that's the only person you know from this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's how you guys have met up before you head into the high forest.
Well, Elwarin, look at you, still alive, eh?
I was gonna say the same about you guys. Good to see you.
Barely.
We
got attacked by a tent. So,
yeah.
How about you? Anything as interesting as that?
Wait, I just want to stop. Elwarin, you're sitting with the information that they fought a tent.
Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to like kind of put that out there. That's all he knows about this interaction. You guys fought a tent.
It was quite the icky tent.
Okay.
I mean, I point out that I'll look at Elwarin's. Do I notice the look of confusion on Elwarin's face?
Oh yes.
I don't think there's an inside check needed to be rolled for that. It is just pure and you see Elwarin's parents also super confused as you guys are mentioning this.
I will point out that it was a wee bit more than a tent. We went to this seemingly useful potion shop. And then when you say potion shop, you see Dara and Ivel stop and say, "Wait, did you guys try to like steal something from a potion vendor?" I'll I'll just point to Zanril. It's like he did.
And no, I'm just kind of like,
why do you tell them about our crimes?
you just see both of them kind of put their hands in their head. They're like, you never fuck with the potion seller. Continue your story.
Never admit fault. Come on.
We kicked the shit out of him. It was rather easy. We have his flesh golem right here with us.
Once.
I almost died.
I was dying. Easy my ass.
I was just sitting inside the thing.
You're welcome.
Well, you got fucked up a little bit before you fell into the thing.
I did.
So
yeah,
I was saying it was essentially like a quarter BigYin, half Ulrich, and then 1.25 of Lando in that fight.
Yeah, Lando carried for sure.
Yeah, Lando basically did carry. He hard carried that fight.
Sounds like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Elwarin is just, I could just see Elwarin face palming. It's just like, I leave these guys for a month.
Oh, and Ulrich should be like, we got a gift for you, and I'm gonna like nudge Zanril.
What? Yeah, that thing, right?
Yeah.
And then like I take out the +1 arrow. I'm like, Oh, here you go. We found it on the
Wow.
way.
An arrow. That's very kind.
Because you
Oh,
like
yeah.
arrows.
Yeah, I do. That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, you're one of those arrow guys, right? So we found this
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, Elwarin, just I don't know if I updated the code sheet, but you have like 20 arrows, but you only have
Yeah,
like just want to
I
make
just
sure.
cleared everything up.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Well, I have 2 +1 arrows now, thanks
Yeah.
to my friends.
That's
nice.
twice as many arrows.
No, that's twice as many arrows. You have increased the
Oh,
supply
and
of
there's-
+1 arrows by 100%.
And there's 2 platinum for you.
Oh yeah, and I take that out of my like pocket as well.
Well, you guys are really treating me today.
I just kind of I try to throw Elwarin a covert look that it's just like it's like I'll explain later. It's just like it's got kind of like we'll talk later look.
BigYin and telling all our secrets.
Let's just.
Well,
Don't tell them the truth.
after seeing BigYin's look, I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna say that I hope you guys fought for more than just a +1 arrow and 2 coins.
No, that was it.
I didn't say anything.
We almost died for this.
I almost died for 2 measly coins and an arrow. God damn it.
At this point, BigYin
there's
just falls
20
over
gold.
laughing. BigYin just falls over laughing at this point.
Sure. Xander, you're saying something?
No, I'm just shaking my head. I'm like,
All right, cool.
What the-
Yeah, I guess during your guys' journey, would you guys have asked Zanril any questions about him falling into the void space? Feel free to say no. It's fine. I'm just curious.
No, there's no. You mean like the actual the golem inside the golem, right?
Yeah. Like when you guys were traveling, were there any questions that came up like after like for both of them, right? Because both BigYin and Zanril felt what was inside that golem. You guys can. Would you guys have talked about that? I guess on the road at all?
If I had been asked, yeah. Otherwise, I was gonna try not to recall it. It was rather disturbing.
Sure.
Ulrich would have no reason to ask about it.
That's fair.
Lando would probably just ask like.
Would you
maybe
ask Lando?
would ask.
Yeah. Would you ask Lando? That's a good question.
Probably
not, right?
I probably wouldn't care. I'll just
Yeah.
be like, why were you in there? You know, get the fuck out.
You know what? Like, since no one asked, I
Yeah.
like hand over like a regular and a greater healing potion, one
Okay.
each, to like Lando and Ulrich,
Okay.
just because they're gonna need it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, one greater and one regular,
Is that
and
just
then
the
I
same
give
thing as
Lando. Huh?
that's the same thing as a potion? Okay, yeah. Oh, dude, I'm loaded on potions now.
And I give Lando the healing potion with a kick one, since Ulrich already experienced it. It's Lando's turn to get spicy food.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Ulrich, when you were having the stew at the place, and every single time you've been eating thus far for the past 6 days, it has been spicy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll look over it, and I would have at least asked. I would have at least asked Zanril. It's like, so what other potion? I would have asked him about the potions he got to see if there's anything.
Well, you wouldn't have known,
useful
right?
in
That's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like you just. So yeah, so he pulls out these potions during the trip, and that's it. Like he doesn't see anything else.
All right, boys. All these coins are kind of slowing me down. Anyone willing to trade?
Coins.
Trade for what?
He wants to swap out his copper pieces for silver and up, keep going up.
Silver for gold would be nice.
Same here.
Same here.
I think I have 2,000 like silver pieces to trade.
Yeah. I'm carrying I pull out like a ton of shit, right? Like
Oh
Like,
no,
I
bro!
got-
You shouldn't be pulling that in front of Elwarin.
I got this chain, like a whole shit ton of cloth. Right, it's just like pulling stuff out of my strapped
Yeah.
in.
Sorry, one question. You said you got the chain shirt to experiment with. What did you try to experiment with it?
Oh yeah, just
Slime.
the slime. Yeah, putting slime on it.
Yeah, so when you put the slime on it, you don't get the effects of plate mail from it, but it does, adhere to it, and it becomes like some sort of magical chain shirt. And then as you take it off, you notice each time it's taking about 10% of the chain shirt with it. Like
Every time I
day.
take
Each day you do that. Yeah, you take 10% of this chain shirt comes off.
So 50% has gone away.
Well, I don't know if he's done it every day. That's what I want to do. Like he would have figured that out the first like couple days. About 10% of the shirt's coming off each time he uses it. And you've noticed, like now that you look at your half plate, it was roughly 2% each time after like. So you got into like about the 10% mark with your half plate, if not more, probably a little bit more than that. But yeah, around there.
But it's still as effective.
No, that's what I'm saying. So on the chain shirt, it is not dwarven plate. You can tell like it is not as sturdy.
No. I mean, it's still as effective as chainmail, though. With the
slime on it, it essentially becomes +2 chainmail. But you lose 10% of it each day.
Right. Interesting.
It's a magical slime.
That also means now that it's 10 pounds lighter.
Correct. Yeah.
This is very important.
Sure. Yeah. No, for carrying weight, 100%. And I guess would you have done any testing where like you put it on the chain shirt for a long time and then put it on your half plate or anything like that? Like afterwards to see like if there are any effects between the differences?
No, I think I'm really only looking to see like how it degrades the armor.
Okay.
And am I able to find out that it's only from separating the armor from the goo?
No. So you leave it on there for 2 days and you take it off and it's 20% of that chainmail is gone.
So every day.
Every day. On that chain
shirt.
So
you've basically given me a useless thing because I will have no armor 7 days ago.
No, like I said, this is the chain shirt that's doing 10% per day, and the half plate is degrading at 2% per day.
This is troubling.
Yeah.
Because now I also can't take it off of my half plate because my half plate has been degraded considerably.
Like I said, it's probably around 12 or 14% total degradation on the half plate over the days you had it for. That's right.
That's different than the description you gave me last time.
Like I said, like up to your belly, which because like it's a heavy piece of stuff. Like, there's a bunch of stuff up at the top and like in the middle. Listen, I just said part of your belly was showing with the half plate when you took off the slime.
Okay. Still problematic for
Sure.
it being a protective piece of gear.
Sure. Yeah,
Ulrich is concerned.
Yeah, that's fair.
After his experiments.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you doing that out in the open?
Well, throughout the travel.
Yeah, it's like throughout your guys' trip on the cart.
Usually when we're like stopping for the night.
I think Zanril would have like left a comment and be like, "Oh, that's one hungry motherfucker right there." Feed it rations.
Well, like I said, yeah. So specifically, right? It's 10% for the chain shirt and 2% for the half plate. Like you've noticed.
And you said it's per day, though.
Yes, correct, per day. That it's attached to it. Yeah.
You're just gonna have to buy new.
Right. Well,
bro, it's so expensive. Holy crap.
Yeah. Because as Ulrich initially was like, I'll just move it over to the chain shirt.
Sure.
Like I said, at night.
Yeah. So like I said, so do you try that, right? Do you try having it be on the chain shirt for a full day and then putting it onto the half plate? Or are you
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you notice that after about 8 hours of it being on one piece of your armor versus the other, it stops eating away at the other piece of the armor.
How long does it take to transfer it?
It's quick, like a minute.
Interesting.
Like to pull it off and attach it to your new thing, it's about a minute.
Okay. And okay. How much of an armor boost does that give me?
Like I said, if it's on your chain shirt, it's a chain shirt +2. But if it's on your half plate, currently gives you dwarven plate.
Oh, and I think it's actually on splint armor, not half plate.
Whatever your armor was. I couldn't remember if it was splint or half plate or whatever.
Yeah, it's splint.
Yeah, but it gives you
dwarven plate.
It's good. It's good stuff. Okay.
Hey, what do we do?
Splint. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so
The
splint
slime
armor.
situation.
Yeah.
Oh, of his armor. Got
Yeah, because he's gonna get butt naked like after 50 sessions or so.
it.
Just like no, he's not gonna have anything on covering his chest. And it's like,
Fuck. That gives me a +3 to my armored class.
Mm-hmm.
That's considerable.
yeah,
Okay, and then let's see with the chain shirt.
it makes it a chain shirt +2.
Yeah, that makes it equivalent to the splint armor.
It's a hungry slime, but it gives you some good stuff.
That's true. Okay, so I think from here on out, any days that we're traveling.
And it doesn't need to be like, unless you're like wearing it, you can have the slime not be connected to anything, and it doesn't eat anything away.
Where does it go though?
It just sits like in a ball. It's like a little like metal looking ball. I've said this like when you go to sleep, when you detach it.
It might be a bit of a deep cut reference, but has anybody ever read the books like the Night Angel series by a guy called Brent Weeks?
No.
But it's
No.
okay. Well, first of all, read that. But great book, fucking awesome. There's a wreck for you in the middle of this. They're super cool. But they've got this thing that they're like orbs of power and shit. They're called Kakari. I think they're called Kakaris. Yeah, something like that. Some made up fucking word or whatever. But they do something very similar to this, where they just they become a ball when they're like released per se, and they like get sucked into your skin. It's cool. Just read the books. Yeah, cool. Never mind. We're done.
Love it. Will do.
Yeah.
Will do.
And it was really helpful on the information.
So yeah, but like I said, like every 8 hours. So you would have found out like if you had like let it eat the chain shirt or the half plate overnight, the next morning you didn't have any issues with it until like it got back to evening time essentially. So essentially what you found is like over an 8 hour span, the slime has to eat something, right? Depending on what kind of armor and what kind of metal it is.
Right.
The percentage changes accordingly. But after it's done eating for that 8 hours, it doesn't need to eat anymore.
Gotcha.
And it does fill in the gaps for like, for like that small part of your belly that's open when you put the split mail on normally.
Right.
The slime covers it. Same thing with the chain shirt, which is degraded by a significant amount, like you said.
Got it. Okay. Good to know.
I have a whole thing for this, brother. Do not worry.
I'm very worried. It doesn't make me feel better.
It's basically living slime armor. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's terrible. What the fuck?
I mean
if
maybe
you
just feed it like metal, like things of like metal, right? Who knows?
The upkeep sounds awful.
Try selling it. Just give it your copper.
Oh, which also again, rounding back onto that, I definitely need to trade people up because I am over encumbered.
You can start having your slime eat your copper for you.
I got too much. It has to eat silver.
Yeah, are we going to be able to? Like, are we stopping in a town soon? Or are we still just sitting outside? Like
you guys were on this Jundar's Pass, and you guys are right here, about to head into the High Forest to go to BigYin's village.
Does anyone have 200 gold they can trade for 2,000 silver?
Bruh, I'm also over encumbered too. You're not the
We just
only
have
one.
all of our bags.
Yeah, so essentially what's all
in the cart.
Yeah, all your gold is in the cart in like separate bags that you guys have labeled for like whose is whose, because you physically cannot carry it on your pass.
I actually think I'm fine. I think I said I could have like 2.
It'll say on the bottom of your character sheet if you're over encumbered.
I'm not.
I'm like over carrying capacity.
Yeah.
I'm light as a feather right now.
I'm good.
Feather.
I'm solid.
I'm carrying 288 pounds.
Bro, you gotta lose some weight. What's up with that?
Yeah. But yeah, you guys are kind of setting up camp for the night.
Wait, why can't we just put a bunch of gold in our bag of holding?
We could.
You could, but who's gonna know whose is whose?
Well, we know. I mean, are you really going to dig us like that and be like, "Oh, how
No,
much
I'm
you put in
not.
there?"
I'm personally not, but you know, people could steal from the bag of holding. I'm not pointing fingers necessarily, but
We like colloquially, we all use the bag of holding. It's
Yeah.
not like any one person.
But what I'm saying is, if you put money in there, the money might not be there when you go to grab it in another day, right?
Okay, who has the bag of holding?
I think
have the
Zanril
bag of
does.
holding.
Oh, Warren and Zanril. I think Zanril has one also.
Okay.
Do I?
Warren, I'm gonna give you 2,437 silver pieces.
Yeah, Zanril, we'll just say you did. Otherwise, this whole you guys dragging a body out of town doesn't work. I'm just gonna give you one,
Okay.
just to
Bag
make
of holding.
my life easier.
I'm 100% not giving Zanril my money.
Oh, you don't trust me? We've been
No.
on so many trips together, you
So
know?
it's been one trip.
Oh, so
It's
many.
been like
That's
3.
one too
You guys,
many,
you
know?
it's been like 3. You guys found him at the Stone Cold base, Sacred Stone Monastery. Brought him back for Red Large with you guys. Then you guys went to the Fire Cold place. Then you guys went deeper in the Fire Cold place, and then you guys came back, and now you're here. You could argue that's multiple trips.
Yo, like, you know, that's like one too many trips, man. Like, you don't trust me still? Ah, that hurts.
You guys see tears roll down his face. Like, definitely crocodile tears, though.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go. I just gave Elwarin 50 pounds of silver.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's heavy.
in your bag
How
of
many-
holding, just like put like a dash and say like, what, 2,000 silver pieces from Ulrich or something like that, or however you want to track it. I'm not going to tell you how to manage your bag of holding.
I also have it in my inventory that you have my silver.
That works too. But cool, yeah.
I'll just add it as like to my everything that's in my bag of holding. I basically just didn't put weight to it. I just added
Yeah, that's fine.
to the list.
It technically can
You
only hold up to
probably
like
wanna
500
put-
pounds,
probably
technically, but
Probably want to put big ass dead body in there too.
no, that's in Zanril's bag of holding.
He has one too.
Yeah, I just gave
Oh.
one to you guys because I thought that he
Like,
had one,
yeah.
but I'd given him one previously, but I had forgotten that I didn't. I guess he
So
was
now
supposed to
he
have
has a
had
bag
one.
of holding.
He has one, and Elwarin has one. You guys have 2 in the party.
Yeah.
But Zanril's bag essentially just has your guys' body and whatever stuff he put in it.
A DM error in our favor.
I guess so. Yeah, I thought I
I
had
know,
given him
right?
one when I introduced his character, but it looks like I forgot to let him know.
You love to see it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bank error in your favor. in
Yeah,
Monopoly.
exactly.
Cool. All right, yeah. So you guys resting for the night. Do you guys try to cross camp and like hang out and talk to Elwarin's parents at all, or the 2 newcomers that you guys don't know of, or are you guys kind of sticking to your own space?
I think Ulrich is too focused on this slime that is eating his
That's
armor.
totally reasonable, right? Do you want to bring it up to anybody else?
Not yet.
That's fair. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Zanril, Lando, BigYin, Elwarin.
The slime.
No, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to talk to Elwarin's parents at all? Or are you just kind of hanging out with your crew? Or talk to the 2 new
Zanril,
people?
if he doesn't know him, you know, he won't bother to like go up to them and then like, you know,
Sure.
unless
Yeah,
it's like,
I've barely met these people.
Sure, that's fair.
Like,
I'll
unless-
walk up to. Oh, sorry.
no, go for it.
No, I'll just kind of slow shuffle my way up there, very shamefaced, head hanging, and say, "It's a pleasure to see you again."
Oh, he's gonna tell them.
Yes. Elwarin, would you have told your parents this has already happened? Or would you not have mentioned that BigYin is no longer BigYin? I'll leave that up to you.
It's a good question. I think I did mention that something was going on with BigYin. I don't think, like, even before I left for my parents when I was talking to them.
Yep.
So maybe we just left it there. And
Okay.
We didn't go into detail.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was just
Because
curious,
I-
like, on your travels, because you've been with them for like a week now, like, 10 days essentially. With
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I would probably say that I did talk to them, but maybe not into detail too much. But they have a vague idea of what happened.
Okay, so we'll just say that they know that the BigYin is no longer a fearable, we'll say. Not quite sure what he is, but he's just no longer the same.
Yeah.
And as you approach, they both Ivel and Dara say, BigYin? Is that you?
Hey, hi, it's me.
Interesting choice of appearance.
Aye. Yes.
Yeah, choice.
Well, there's a very long story behind all of it.
Yeah, do tell.
Yeah, tell them everything.
Listen, this is big into a T. Why are you guys getting upset now? It's a little late in
No,
the
I'm
game.
not upset. Oh, I mean, Ulrich's been upset about how he turned into a dragonborn.
And then I'll just say, do you want the short version or the long version?
We got a couple more days, so we can probably get the long version on our travels.
So yeah, I'll just kind of, but I'm asking out of politeness, like
Sure.
how much do they want to know?
Yeah, like I said, so they kind of give you the idea that like during your couple more days of travel through the forest before they get to your village, you could probably talk to them about it then because you guys just travel together from now
Yeah,
on.
I'll just kind of slowly explain how the thing got in my head and I managed to dispel it, then it got in my head again, and
Sure, yeah. So you just tell it over the next couple of days. We'll kind of get to that.
Yeah.
When you get to the village is when you'll get their response. Essentially, that's when you'll finish telling your story.
We'll just say I lay out the entire story to them.
Yeah.
Thus far.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Cool. The other two people that they have with them kind of stay inside the cart. They get out to wash up and grab some food and do their normal restroom things, bodily functions. But for the most part, they stay in the cart. They don't seem too keen on interacting with you guys.
I'll just kind of look at them and say, who are they?
Dara and I will say, you'll find out, and just leave it at that.
Insight check.
What are you trying to glean from this? I guess when they say you'll find out.
What is she trying to understand her intent and why she seems like she's hiding something?
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, seems like she is hiding something, but you will be finding out later. It seems she seems pretty confident that you will find out what's going on later.
Fine. I'm gonna be a little bit more watchful then
Okay.
of them.
Sure. Elwarin, are you sharing with the group anything about your travels at all? And we can do this during your guys' 2-day event. It doesn't have to be all tonight. Just curious if you can share anything with them.
I mean, as my character is not the most talkative one, unless I'm asked, I'm not going to just share.
Cool. That's fine. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, and just one thing I wanted to clarify with BigYin. I remember when he transformed into his new self. He had that the ring to connect with the enclave, and I forgot how we ended that because I remember he asked me, and I said it's not my choice to make if he can still. So that might be something he wants to discuss with my parents.
Sure, yeah. So he still has the ring. He hasn't tried to tap into it, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Obviously, feel free to correct me, BigYin, but I don't believe you tried to tap into it since you.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So that's still there, right? That's still a plot point that's around. I guess.
So that's probably just something I'm gonna mention to BigYin, that these might be the right people to make the call whether he's still part of it and can use it or not.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah. So BigYin, do you in the next couple days talk to Ivel and Dara about still be while you're telling your story, ask them if you can still have the ring and still use it if it's still attuned to you.
Yeah.
Both of them, at the mention of at the end of your guys' journey, as you guys are kind of getting towards the end of the forest that you, Elwarin, Ivel, and Dara are all very familiar with, they kind of stop before you guys kind of get to the entrance of the village, and both of them just kind of look at you and say no, and they put their hand out for the ring back.
Bro.
You are no longer a druid, so we can no longer allow you to carry this, as you have a being that you are doing its bidding for. So that does not align with the Emerald Enclave. I understand that your heart and soul, you are still the same person you once were, but unfortunately, with the way things are, you are not able to use that, and it's not worth keeping.
Fine. I take it off my neck. I literally... No, I'm not going to do anything that displays displeasure or anger. I'll just bottle my feelings and very politely remove the chain from my neck and give it to them.
Yeah. Dara takes it in her hand. She says, if you find a way to come back to your normal self, this can be returned to you. But at this point, unfortunately not. And she tucks it away in her bag. And you see Ivel writing some notes. And they kind of shut once that interaction's done. He says, I guess you'll have to explain to your parents, which I do not envy in the slightest. And as you guys begin to approach the village that BigYin was raised in.
Damn, the village.
Love it.
Finally here.
So as you guys are approaching, you see these, 15, 20-foot tall gates made of wood and stone. BigYin, this is a significant change from last time you were here. Everything around seems to be a little bit more well fortified, and the village itself seems to have grown larger.
All things considered, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Dope as hell, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a great map.
Yeah, thank you. And as you guys are approaching, there are guards outposts, and you guys are approaching from the west going eastward.
Right over here, right?
That's where you'll be heading to. That's the gate that you'll be heading towards. Yes.
Gotcha.
So the whole thing with this is it's a massive, like I said, 15 to 20 feet tall walls with gates, and even higher above that, you see some outposts, like watchtowers, essentially, that have, from what you guys can tell, roughly 300 feet away, have roughly 3 to 4 people on each of the towers. You see 2 alongside here, and like these are fairly tall. We're talking 50 to 80 feet tall each. They're slightly varying in sizes, slightly older depending on which one you're looking at. And for these 2, you can see roughly, like I said, 3 to 4 people on those towers, kind of keeping watch beyond the walls. BigYin, these have always been there, but they were always kind of like further outposts to the town itself, like forward watches. Now they seem to be inside a set of walls, which is new. Like I said, very new for you.
Yeah.
So as you guys kind of approach, you see some guards. BigYin, you notice who these people are. They are your uncle and cousin, as are most people in this town, somehow almost related to you vaguely. And they say, "Ho, Elwarin, Ivildara, well met. Who are these friends of yours?" As they do not recognize you, obviously in your new form.
Uncle, it does me well to see you.
Both of them immediately turn to you and draw their weapons. Excuse me? Did you call me uncle?
I did. It's your nephew BigYin. I
No.
may be changed in
Nope.
body.
Nope, this is a lie. You are not BigYin. BigYin is one of us. He's a Fearbolg. He is not a red dragonborn.
There is a very long story I'd preferably tell Mum and Dad and you at the same time. But it's me.
As this interaction is happening, the rest of you guys just kind of notice from the peripheries, as the 2 guards kind of drew their weapons and are looking a little bit more tense. The 3 to 4 people in the watchtowers, each on the, south side and north side of this area, you see just arrows knocked, pointing in your guys' direction. And you see a couple people with wands. I would say 1 in each tower with wands, looking like they're ready to cast a spell if need be. They look battle ready, which BigYin, like I said, is new. This is not like a standard thing like prior to this last time you were in this town. Maybe 1 or 2 people in here in these guard towers, and most of them were just archers. They were not magic people whatsoever attached to this space.
Wait, why are we crying?
So I'll look at Elwarin.
I just lost the last 15 minutes or 7 minutes, so I don't know what happened.
So BigYin, you guys have approached BigYin's village. They found the town guards there, and BigYin says, "Hello, uncle and cousin," and they immediately get suspicious because he's not a Fearbolg.
Oh, he also got told that he's not allowed to be part of the Emerald Enclave anymore, and had his ring revoked that would allow him to talk to them.
Yep.
I will tilt my head real quick and just very quickly say, "Garfield, are you in my village?"
Hello, hello, BigYin. Why, yes, I am. I have my own space now, as you can see.
Would you mind coming to the front gate? We have a delivery for you, and I need you to vouch for me in front of my uncle and my cousin and the rest of this very enhanced guard before they decide to try and kill me as an imposter.
Are you not with Dara and Eiffel?
They haven't said anything yet, and I believe someone of your rather arcane skill would be useful, as you know all the details.
I mean, I
And
would
then
suggest we don't pull out the dead body right now.
I'm not gonna give him. I'm not gonna give him
Yeah,
the dead
sure.
body now. It's like we'll deliver the thing to you later, but I need you to vouchsafe me into the city. And then I'll look at Dara and Ivel breaking the connection with Garfield, and I'll say, "They know it's me, and there is a man in town, Garfield, who will also vouch for my bona fides."
Their eyes kind of narrow as you say Garfield, and then you see Dara and Ivel kind of step forward and say, "It's a long story, but we believe this is BigYin." And you see the tension that was kind of at this gate subside. Just that is the, I guess, power you could argue that Ivel and Dara carry within the Emerald Enclave. And as everybody just kind of relaxes a little bit. Exactly, Zanril. Objection, indeed. As you see, like the bowmen on the roofs of these outposts just slowly retract, and you see the spellcasters lower their wands. Your uncle and cousin are still kind of on edge, though, and they look at you. They say, "Why? We know you didn't really like being part of the village, but we didn't think you would turn your back on the whole race like this."
Uncle, this was a choice I did not make lightly. It was not a choice I would have made if I felt I could have found another way. Let us go to my parents, and I will explain. I will tell the story.
Yeah, so the gate opens up. The guards let you in, and they say, "We'll be watching you." We'll let the rest of you guys in, as Ivel and Dara kind of vouch for you guys. And as you guys come in, you guys see a vast, sprawling grassland. There are evidence that there were trees here at one point in time in this, vast open space before you get to this this stone wall. There were trees here at one point, but they've been fully cut down, and their roots have been uprooted, and they've kind of cleared the land to make it almost more farming available to give the town self-sufficiency if needed. You see tons of farmland kind of all around with like small little houses. You see cattle kind of roaming around the streets around here. To your right, you see a large stable house with multiple different horses in there. You see a few elves working inside of there. But most of the people that are in this space are Firbolgs. And as you're kind of like walking around, you get to this post right here. It's the smithy. They're hard at work making weapons and metal armor, and as well as non-metal armor like leather gear as well. They're kind of working in tandem with these leather workers that are not in this town, like not in this same hut, but they are somewhere within this village. They seem to be carts kind of roaming back and forth between the smithy going into the center part of the town, which seems to have a lot more trees inside of there. I didn't want to add it on the map because the trees are very it makes it hard to see everything else, but there are trees attached to essentially every single one of these houses. As you kind of approach this stone wall, which is about 15 feet high, you see these massive 25, 30 foot tall trees just in these spaces. They're spread out, not super densely packed like the normal high forest is, but these are old trees that kind of vibrate with this not energy necessarily or magic, but a sense of like stature, that they've been here for years and years and years and will probably outlive all of you.
Damn.
As you kind of approach this space, these are old trees, very well tended for, crafted in such a way that they are meant to be there and they have purpose. They're not just trees to be trees. These trees are there for a reason. but for what reason you cannot tell at this point. As you guys kind of make your way down south along the wall, you see a massive mill where they're grinding up grain. You see massive wheat fields as they're making, like I said, this is essentially a very self-sufficient area that Dar and Ivel are kind of explaining to you, BigYin and the rest of the group, as you guys are walking through, because they've been here for the past few months where this town has been really ramping up. And as you guys are continuing to walk through, you see, like I said, there are now hundreds of Furbolgs here. Before there was, BigYin, you can let the group know how many you believe there were prior to this.
There were more. I mean, it was a big village, not disorganized, but it was bigger.
Yeah. And it seems like from what you can tell right now, is most of these people are not warriors that are here. These are like the lay folk. These are the farmers.
I'll look at Dara and I'll look at Elwarin's parents and I'm like, there were more. How many fell?
They're now scattered across the forest.
Is it just the lay folk here?
Mostly the lay folk here. We have lost a number, but most of them are still out on patrols. The werewolf problem has truly, truly gotten worse. We've actually had to turn a few more Furbolgs into werebears to combat the issue. Which you recall, there used to only be one.
Yeah, no, where there was one, now there's, I'm like, more.
There's about 5.
Oh, Christ.
It's one in each platoon. One in each platoon of people.
Yeah, I'll just be like...
It's a werebear.
A werebear is a lycanthrope, but it is a generally good aligned creature. And as you ask this question, like Ivel kind of flows into it. Every single village in the high forest has a werebear resident, and as they get older in age, a volunteer is chosen from the village to turn into werebear. They kind of help combat any werewolf issues or any other magical creatures, as they are immune to non-magical damage or non-silvered weapons as well. So they provide like a staunch defense force essentially for each village. And the fact that there now is 5 for this one village that is fairly large for the area is very concerning. Because when you become a werebear, you are not allowed to have a family anymore. It is essentially like Knights of the Watch almost, but not Jon Snow variety. More like Uncle Benji variety. So it prevents them from... They obviously still have family, but it prevents them from having too many attachments that would cloud their judgment or stop them from doing what they must to protect these different villages and these different towns.
I'd say they're almost more like Jedi, but without an order. They're basically singular Jedi in each village, passing on the skills and the important role from volunteer to volunteer.
Yeah, that's
another
good way to think
and
about
that their role kind of, they know, while they still have family members, they are of a family, but they have no family. The village becomes... the town and village of their community becomes their entire family, and they are the overarching guardian of that village. If unwanted people were to come, think almost like Bjorn from The Hobbit, like a Bjorning, and except like they don't have families, and literally it's like they kind of go out and watch. And Furbolgs, they would generally kind of keep people away by making the forest feel inhospitable, like people are being watched. They won't necessarily be hostile, but they will make you feel very, very uncomfortable while you're traversing their territory. And having, just like this very large bear just kind of wandering around just out of sight, making noise, is one way of doing that.
And they also help combat the werewolf problem.
Yeah.
So that was the original intent, and then it kind of evolved from there to kind of help keep intruders out of the forest that aren't wanted. But yeah, and they kind of continue saying like, yeah, there's 1 per platoon, and we've got 5 platoons, so we needed 5 werebears, and hopefully we can reduce the numbers soon. But it has been rough going for the past month or so. They continue on and lead you guys into the center of the town. And this is the town that you remember, BigYin. The stone walls. This is what you remember the town being. And obviously there was farmland around it, but there was never any outside walls to that. Same thing with the
So
Elwarin.
it's a wooden palisade with an inner stone wall, almost like a Mott and Bailey.
Except these are bigger and more and a little bit more. There's stone and wood combined. It was just very difficult to kind of put that into a map, so I just made it wood because it's mostly wood.
No, I got it.
Yeah, it was like you'd make the argument that the bottom portion, about 20% of it, is stone, and the top 80% is wood for these outer walls.
Yeah,
and the inner wall here
built on a stone foundation.
Yeah, and then these stone walls here are, like I said, 15 feet of just pure thick stone, about 5 feet thick.
Got it.
And as you guys kind of come into, you can see all these trees, and these trees are built out with the houses being right next to it or attached to the tree. The trees serve as a home for the Fearbolgs of this area and the other people that live in this space. The trees are massive and large, and the way the houses are carved and kind of cut into the tree is not detrimental to the tree, allows its growth to continue, but also allows the family to have the nutrients and sustenance that is allowed by these trees and give you that earthy feel. Think like the Ewoks in Star Wars, kind of like that, except they're not up like tree houses. They're like, these are firmly on the ground, but the trees are kind of growing around them. But they've been around for much longer than these houses have been. And you get to the town center, and waiting for you are your parents, your sister, Furby, your uncle, the village leader, and a number of your cousins. And you notice that every single one of them, except for your sister and your mother, are armed, wearing their full armor, including your uncle. Where is his name? Let me go my notes real quick. Including your uncle, Zod.
Zod
is standing there flanking your uncle, the leader, on his left, your father on his right, as per usual at most town meetings. As these are the trio, right? The three brothers that have made their name in this town and throughout the other forests in the area. Your father being the best warrior, your uncle, the leader, being the best leader and wise thinker, and then your uncle Zod being the reckless cavalier that he is, that kind of keeps the people happy and jolly while still maintaining the defensive line whenever there's any issues.
DM, before we go further, there's a couple things I'm gonna want to do. As we walk up, I've taken off my dagger and any other weapon that I have on me, and I put it in my sack.
Okay.
In my pack, and I'll look over at Zanril, and I'll just hand him the staff and the bag, and I'll say, "Take care of this. I don't want anything to happen to this. I am trusting you. I have a feeling this is going to get very, very dicey, and I want to pose no threat in spite of what I can do. So just take care of these things for me, will you?"
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, and so I've even basically taken off the armor that's over my clothes, and all I'm wearing are clothes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and you approach them. As you get close, your father and Zod step up and say, that's close enough. Dara, Ivel, your two companions, and Elwarin, feel free to come through. We know who you are. The rest of you, who are you?
I'll step forward and say, "I, BigYin, vouch for these, my friends."
Stop.
Father. And I kneel.
He says, we'll deal with you shortly. You three, who are you?
Great, thanks, Dad.
I don't know what's going on with that whole family thing. I'm Ulrich. I'm from Mirbar. Used to be in the army. Pleasure to meet you.
Ah,
I'm
yes.
just here trying to kill some cultists.
I've heard
And
about
I
you
heard-
from Zod and Dar and Ivel. You are greatly welcomed, sir.
Good luck with whatever this whole family thing is. I'll stay out of your all your way.
My name is Lando, and that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, so Lando, as you say that, you hear a howl.
Oh, I remember the dog.
And it's your
Forgot his
boy.
name, though.
Oh no, you don't remember his
What?
name?
Wait, no. Hold on.
Oh
Hold
no.
on. Hold on.
Oh no.
Frank
Just
Bolt.
moving through notes.
Yeah.
Lando brings out his Frank, the clay dog.
Yeah.
He's looking at his notes. He's like, shoot, I've named everything
No.
after Frank the dog. What is the other dog's name?
His name is Bolt. I remembered.
Yeah, and you see Bolt kind of lunge out from behind the massive building here.
Fuck yeah.
And Bolt is just very excited to see you.
Yeah.
And he says, Lando! Upon kind of
I
all of
forgot
that.
the fucking dog could talk.
Yeah, he's talked to you before.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, it's been so long. It's hard to remember.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So Zanril,
You
for
can
you.
talk?
Yeah, so Zanril, for you, this is the first time you've seen a talking animal.
Oh.
And so yeah, you see a massive wolf, roughly 15 feet in like length and width, just kind of come bounding out. And as you guys all can see, Bolt has grown bigger since last time you saw him. He was roughly 10 foot.
What is his name? Fucking like Lightning now?
It's Lightning McQueen,
Nah.
good sir. No, I'm kidding.
His name is Thunder now. He's
No,
no
it's-
longer
it's-
Bolt.
Still Bolt. And he's just much bigger than last time you guys saw him. And he says, yes, I am Bolt, the lightning wolf. And you see like lightning start to crackle off of him as he says that. And his voice like is gravelly and sounds like almost like lightning and thunder booming when he
I'll
speaks.
admit, that's cool every time. Cool every time.
I kind of look at the wolf and I look at Elwarin and I look at like I go back and forth and I'm like, ah.
He's like, I see the connection, but you're not sure if with the connection if that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see that, and when Bolt comes out, BigYin's father says, Lando, yes, we've heard much of you as well. More than welcome. And you, half-elf, who are you?
Zanril's the name. I'm pretty sure my sisters has been around here a couple of times, or business-wise.
Yes. Your trading has been a wealth to this community. Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that we've helped you guys.
Yes, it's been quite good doing business with the. I'm just going to call it the Z Trading Company, just to keep it easy. I don't know if we ever gave it a proper name. I'm just going to call it the Z Trading Company.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, and Garfield has vouched for your family as well. You may pass, but be aware. We are always watching. And then he laughs. He's like, just kidding. Then his face goes back to his normal poker face.
Okay. And I head like right behind Lando as soon as possible. I'm like, I put my thumbs up for like BigYin. Be like, good luck.
BigYin, so you are now kneeling in front of a large group of your family. Your mother has tears in her eyes. Your sister looks, as always, a little confused. She's always been that kind of flower child, right? But you now see two little Fearbold children in her arms. And she doesn't look like the flower child anymore. Things have changed. She's now a mother. There is a hardened look in her eyes that you've never seen before. Your father and Zod just look at you, and they both simultaneously just say, how?
Well, do you want to have this discussion here
Yes.
or indoors?
Here.
Then you'd better take a seat, all of you. It's a very long story.
You see a chair come out of the big building, and your uncle, the ruler of this place, takes a seat. A few other people, a few of the other cousins, they kind of take a seat in the grass. But your father, your mother, Zod, your uncle, and your sister remain standing.
Has Lando made an appearance yet? Oh, not Lando. Garfield.
No.
Okay.
I think Ulrich's also gonna sit down like on the ground just to be less intimidating looking.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Like, no, I'm on your side, guys.
Yeah. And you guys still have your cart, right? So the cart is still there with the horses and stuff like that. You guys have brought that in. The gate was, quite large enough to allow you guys to bring that in. What about the rest of you guys? Are you guys also standing? Are you sitting down, or what's your game plan?
I'm gonna take out my jar of pickle sweet potatoes, sit down,
Nice.
enjoy the show.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Anybody else doing anything fun?
I'm gonna just lay in the wolf.
Yeah. As you used to sleep with him, you just kind of sit down and kind of fall into him. Your fat rolls absorbing into the fur as much as the fur is absorbing you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a good time. You guys are both enjoying it as always. Your lightning kind of crackles with each other. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Elwarin, what are you doing?
I'm sitting down watching this.
Are you sitting on your cart as you have been for the past few days, or are you just kind of sitting on the grass with the rest of the group?
Sitting in the grass with the rest of the group.
Okay. Yeah, your parents remain standing, and you see them slowly walk, and they are also kind of standing to the side of where the seemingly leader of the village is. And they're just kind of standing there watching. And I guess just from what you guys can tell, there is a very harsh tension in the air. Almost as if you could cut it with a sword or a blade. The ire that is coming from BigYin's father at this point, seeing what his son has become, going against everything that his father thought his son was about. You just see a very hard look in his eyes, and Zod, there's still some playfulness there, as always. That's his kind of modus operandi, but it is a playfulness that is hinted with some ominousness within there. Like, if needed, he will kind of he can turn it on if he needs to. He can stop being the more joyous and kind of fun uncle, and kind of turn to that more serious and needing to get shit done kind of uncle. BigYin's mom is crying a little bit more forcefully now after everybody's kind of seated, and because she just sees you, BigYin, kneeling in front of your father, your two uncles, in an almost desperate play in her eyes to kind of salvage whatever situation you've gotten yourself into. And you've gotten yourself into trouble before. This is not the first time you've had a lecture from your uncles and your dad. But most of those were minor things. You dabbled in something you probably shouldn't have, caused a small explosion and a fire. They put it out and everything was fine.
No, this is the first time I've really fucked up.
Yeah, this is the first. Exactly, right? All the other times we're okay, he's just learning and growing. This is just who he is, right? It's a normal thing kids and young adults kind of get into. Yeah, he'll grow out of it. He'll come back to the village. He won't stay up in the mountain, kind of secluded, just trying to find more secrets, more things that don't really align with what's happening with our village and what our needs are, right? Because we need him, right? And you knew this,
yeah.
and you've known that your parents have wanted you to come back, because you did have a strength that was not feared by anybody necessarily, but it was potent. You were your father's son. You were from this bloodline that seems to produce very strong heirs. Your cousins are, for the most part, fighters, druids, and rangers. Very
and
good
I
at
was
them.
willful.
And it's fine. It's not that something that they were upset by, but you just knew always in the back of your mind that they were just always waiting for you to just come home. And you've come back to them.
But not as they expected.
Or as what you once were. There's some fear in your mother's and sister's eyes. And that's the first.
Yeah.
Your mom and sister have never been scared of you. For all of your antics, all of the things you've done. They've always kind of laughed along. Obviously, your mom has lectured you once in a while, but nothing serious, not like your father. And it's always been good. It's always been fine. This is the first time you see a little bit of fear in their eyes, looking at you, unsure of what you've become. Unsure if you are still the same person, or if you're just something different altogether that they'll have to learn to love or not love.
Yep. All right.
Sorry, that was a lot of exposition. You can tell your story now.
So I start with a brief overview of what they already know. Getting up to the point where how we started this whole demon bullshit business and everything that happened after that. And I'm not using deception. I'm not using any charm, nothing. I'm literally just speaking from the heart, just with honesty.
And
because I'm ashamed. There is shame there. There is shame and frustration. And
as you start kind of getting to the point in the story where you guys are fighting cultists, prior to you obviously turning into the warlock, but still kind of in the cultist territory, your uncle, the presiding ruler of this place, says, "BigYin, I will stop you for 1 second. Would you submit to a circle of truth for the rest of the story?" And you see one of your cousins, one of the few priests in the village, as there is a small chapel around here devoted to Pan, or maybe it's still Pan, who knows, you haven't checked it out yet. He stands up and he says, "Cousin, I'm sorry it's come to this, but it's better to be safe than sorry. You know the rules." And he casts a zone of truth on you in your area.
And I look at him and I say,
nodding his head, but yes.
I look at my cousin who's casting this at me and I say, "What are you apologizing for? I brought this on myself."
He says,
"It is only just."
Doesn't make it feel any better. And do you try to, you are willing, you are allowing it to go through.
No, I'm not fighting it.
Yeah. And he, your cousin kind of nods and he says, "It is done." And
so then I keep going.
Yeah, your uncle's so kind of motions for you to continue.
I explain how my magic waned, how I investigated other gods, and when I tried to channel a new one, I found what had taken root inside me. And I explained my seeming inability to think of a way out and how long I resisted. And then ultimately feeling between a rock and a hard place, I made what I thought was a very it was not an easy answer or decision to make, but it was something that would allow me to continue to be useful. It was something that would allow me to continue the path I was walking and continue to protect the friends that I had come to trust and that I felt trusted me. And that if they saw this as a betrayal, hopefully I would continue to be useful and earn their trust, continue to earn their trust and be and live the example that my family had instilled in me in spite of my seeming strong-headed and wayward self. And I would speak honestly about the power I had wielded, and that in the moment it seemed amazing and awesome, but as I slept and debriefed my own mind about what I could do, it left me chilled and afraid. And that I realize I have power that is not of my own, that is gifted to me by something that has its own will, its own mind, and its own goals. And that in spite of my own best efforts to get myself killed in sacrifice myself, I am here. and that I still love my family, and that I still feel the responsibility I have to them, and will understand, and I understand their fear, their mistrust, and that I put my life, my fate in their hand. And that if they cast me out, I will go and never return. That if they wish my life forfeit, it is granted.
So as you get to the climax of your story, talking about, when you're at that point in your story where you're kind of, you've lost the will of Pan, like the power you were getting from Pan as a druid, and you felt this hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still, you describe it well enough because you can still envision it. It is still like, it is imprinted itself on you and in your mind. Your mom and dad look at each other kind of fervently. There's a little bit of concern and surprise within it, but they don't say anything. And then as you kind of continue the story and get to the point where you accept the deal, you see both of them just look ashen. They are distraught with the utter fear and concern that any parent would have on their child making such a grave decision like this. And your mom falls apart. She is bawling. She has fallen to the ground bawling. Your sister is there with the twins, trying to console her. Your father's face hard as a stone. Just after the fallen face, the ashen, just stoic, no emotion on his face. He just looks at you, but you're not sure if he's even there anymore.
Yeah.
His eyes seem distant. You're not sure how much he's hearing from the story anymore. He's gone.
And at this point, I just look at my uncle, who is the leader, and I say, Uncle, that is my tale. I am both what I was and something else, whether it is permanent or can be changed back. I don't have the knowledge or skill to know.
And your uncle just kind of sits there and he's just...
And the last thing I'll say is, I'll just kind of walk up to him, put my head at his feet.
As you begin to close the distance, your father and uncle kind of stop you from getting any closer. You're roughly 15 feet away from your uncle in the chair at this point.
I'll just look at them.
They both just kind of shake their heads.
Do you see arms, armor, weapons? I am at your mercy here.
Your uncle Zod looks at you, and you see,
before he says anything, and say, I submitted to tell the truth.
And that is fine.
I cannot tell a lie. I mean no harm.
And that
I
is fine.
willingly submit here.
He looks at you and says, that is all fine. That is what you desire. That is your will. Is it your patron's desires? Is it your patron's will? We know not.
If he wanted to stop me, he'd do something by now.
Maybe he was just waiting for you to get closer to someone that he needed you to kill. You have no control, as we can tell. You relish in the opportunity of casting these newer, darker magic spells, creating circles of blood, summoning demons. And you loved it. You tell, and this is not.
And yet I'm haunted by my decisions.
And yet here we are. You say all these things, and maybe they're truth, right? Based off your zone of truth and you submitting to it. It is what you feel is truth. But you must understand, you are no longer a druid. You are no longer necessarily in control of your own powers the way you expect. Pan is dead. He's no longer a god. We all have Smokey. That's who all of our power comes from. Why weren't you able to just get Smokey's power?
Control. What do you know of?
So, do you say that out loud?
No.
That's just a fleeting thought in your mind?
Yeah. And I look at them.
Like I said, your father is there, but he's not there at the same time. Like, his mind is...
No, I get it.
Yeah. Like, this is all... Like, that's why your Uncle Zod's speaking. Typically, in proceedings like this, your father is the one talking, but your uncle kind of picked up on the fact that your father's mind has gone elsewhere, is not kind of focused on the space right here, so he picked up the ball and started speaking, sort of thing. It's a little different than how your father would do, but it gets the effect kind of desired, essentially.
No, it's fine. I pause looking at my uncle. The jolly, joke, violent uncle who told me all those fun stories of rebellion and fighting and adventure, who helped shape my mind and nurtured that desire for adventure. I look at my father, who's clearly disappointed, my mother distraught, my sister not really sure what to do. Part of me sees limits, sees limitations, takes the understanding of the world that I have seen and sees the much wider world that is versus the sheltered one they live in. See a choice in front of me.
So I'll remind you. I'll remind you of two things.
I don't say any of this. I'm just thinking.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to remind you two things that would come to mind while you're thinking of this. Your uncle, the Zod, the fighter, and your father have both traveled significantly.
Oh, I know that they came home.
Yeah, they eventually came home. Yes, whether it was to fulfill their duty, to help their older brother, whatever reason it was, right? They came home to do whatever their duty was to this town. But they did travel, they did adventure, they did all the things that you're doing right now. Maybe not to the same extent. Killing cultists may not have been on any of their agendas.
Yeah.
When they're out in the world, but
no, I get that.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you that in case you had forgotten.
No,
yeah.
No, I hadn't. But I'll just calm the anger, the frustration that I've always kind of felt in these times. The natural. It's not anything augmented.
Yeah.
And I just turn my back and say, I've said all I have to say. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a moment alone.
So as you say that, your uncle from the chair stands up and says, "BigYin, you've given us a lot to think on. I'm not saying you return. I'm just explaining what happens. You can keep walking if you need to.
I'll stop when he says BigYin.
And do you turn around at all, or are you just kind of back turned still?
I'm listening.
Okay, that's fine. So your back is turned. Not usual. I just wanted to understand like what your game plan was. He says, "We understand what you've said. It is a lot to take in. We would like you to stay the night. Not with your parents. Not with honestly anybody. We have a room that we will put you in. Not guarded, not warded from magic by any means. We would like you to stay, as we have a lot to think on upon what you've told us, and we would like to consult with Garfield a little on what has transpired and if there's anything we can do. If you need some time, as I see you seem to be leaving to go do, take it. But when you're ready to rest or put your things down, come see me."
I'll turn, bow to my uncle.
Does his
Thank
head?
you.
He does the
for
head
your
nod.
forbearance.
Yeah, he does the head nod as per usual. And like I said, this is your uncle that has the most level head out of all three of the siblings, right? There's the reason why he's the village elder /
He's the one
leader.
in charge.
Yeah, he has the most level head. He's the wisest of the bunch. He takes in the knowledge that people speak to him. He thinks on it and makes an action. Your father and uncle, while still being wise and intelligent and all that, do sometimes let their emotions get to them a little bit. Which is why your father is a bit of a barbarian. He can rage, not at his family, but in combat as needed to protect his family. And your uncle Zod, maybe that's why he's a little bit more cavalier in the way that he fights. So I wanted to leave you with that.
Yeah, no. I'll walk up to Zanril, ask for my gear back, and say, well, we have some business to conduct with Garfield. And I'll look at my assembled family, say, I am sorry it has come to this. No, I hold no enmity towards your reaction. You are my family, and I will always see you as such. I pray that you will find it within yourselves to see me not as I outwardly appear, but as what you know me to be. And hopefully, and I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
And I'll say, let's go find Garfield. We have business.
One of your cousins steps up and says, "Oh, if you're looking for Garfield, he's in the common space that we allow for visitors of the Emerald Enclave to stay. He's in the higher end quarters, which you know to be this top left corner building. You are currently roughly here."
I'll extend a hand and I'll say, thank you, cousin.
He nods. Yeah, you guys can head out over there.
He doesn't take my hand.
Nope.
I'll tilt my head and look at him and then just walk away.
Like I said, everybody here is fairly shaken by your revelation. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Crew, what are you doing? Elwarin, your parents kind of discuss a little bit with the elder, if you want to call him that, the mayor maybe is a good term also maybe, and the two people that you were traveling with, along with your parents, after they talk with them for a little bit, head inside to where they're staying, inside the main house here. Are you going with them or are you going with the crew to Garfield's?
Sticking with the crew for now.
Okay, cool.
I'm staying with the Emerald Enclave. I'm going to see how I can help out with the smithing efforts.
Okay.
Ulrich is not interested in going to meet Garfield.
That's fine.
As is tradition.
Yeah, as tradition. Yeah, like I said, that doesn't shock me whatsoever.
Right.
Isn't he going to be the one that sells you your plate?
No.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, the blacksmith might, but no, Garfield makes deals. I'm sure he has plate for me and could probably fix whatever is going on with it, but
yeah,
Ulrich's not super interested in that.
Like I said, at this point in time, Ulrich is not super interested. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, cool. All right. Anybody else just leaving the group?
No, I don't know this place.
Fair. Lando, you?
I don't know this place either.
So you going with the crew, or are you staying with Bolt, or what's your game plan?
Or I'll go to the. I'm gonna just hang out. Maybe I'll just hang out with the dog for a while.
You may not get your money then.
Oh fuck! Never mind. I'll go. Yeah, I want that. want that cash.
Yeah, all that cash, baby. Ulrich, yeah, that brings a question up too for you. Are you going to leave that money to the group to get to you?
I mean, I trust my party enough with my life. I assume they're not gonna. They'll screw me out of some money. I doubt they'll screw me out of all the money.
Sure.
He doesn't trust Zanril with his money.
I'll make
True.
sure he gets his fair share.
Sure. Cool. Yeah. So you head over to Garfield's. I got a map for Garfield's. Don't worry, guys.
Oh, nice. It's the same map.
It is actually the same map as you guys were before, but a little bit different. He's got a different setup than the last time you were there. I need to get you guys in the right setup for that one. I think he's gonna be. I think this one. Yeah, I think he'll be in this one. And he will be not that one. He'll be this one. This goes there. Yeah, give me a second. Sorry, it's gonna take a little.
Let's go.
Let's go to the mall today.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ulrich, I'm just gonna put your token in here so you don't have a black screen when I move everybody over.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand. I'm not there.
Yeah. You're gonna be outside the space, which I think is fair. Doom. You guys are here.
Damn, it's an upgraded version with a
It
lot
is
of
a-
animal furs.
It is
Is
a
that
version.
werebear hide?
Is that where they're?
And
Maybe.
werewolf
Fucked up.
hide too?
Maybe.
Is that a werefox hide too?
Could be. Yeah. So you guys approach the cart and kind of like knock on the door, and Garfield's like, "Coming." And,
the man, the legend himself.
He comes and gets the door. He's like, "Hello, gentlemen. What can I do for you today? You here to sell me that flesh golem, huh?"
Aye.
Ooh. Cool. And he's like, "Come in." And he kind of opens up his arms. "Welcome to the the new Garfield Emporium, huh?" And as you guys enter into this space, it's a large space with mostly wood. There's some stone on the ground. There's a stone spiral staircase that goes up, leading to a second floor, you assume. There are some benches on the side here, a couple tables set up.
75 hit points.
It's an old token. You can obviously pull your new token on there if you want to see your new HP. It's fine.
Bro, when I just
All right, I'll do it, I guess, because you probably can't see anymore. Typically, people just
disappeared.
Yeah, you disappeared, indeed.
Oh, you got tiny.
Oh, and you guys have had
Tiny
your full
Lando.
rest, so you guys can, get full HP and all that jazz.
Tiny land.
wait, so I just wasted all my fucking hit dice for no reason.
I mean, you guys were good for a combat if it needed to happen. Think about it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't
It's
know
been
what's
a
gonna
couple of
happen.
days too.
Yeah, it's been like 6 days since you guys left.
So
It's cool.
all my
So we
hit
got
dice are
we got
back.
all our hit dice back too.
Yeah.
Cool.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. So you see some tables over here with some chairs adjacent to them. You see a bookcase in the back here. And some additional benches over here. He says, yes. Flesh golem, please. And this is the first time, Elwarin, you've heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna get the bag.
Yeah,
put
I
it
don't.
upside down.
I personally don't even know if you know what a flesh golem is, or Elwarin. I don't know if you've even heard the term before, personally.
I have not.
Yeah. So.
I'm just gonna plop it right here, right in
I'll
front
just
of
look
me.
at Elwarin and say you missed a wee bit.
Oh, it shrunk.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I just haven't.
Oh, okay.
Is that the tent you were talking about?
Yes,
Oh yes, we're inside that thing.
he's a flesh tent.
It's a flesh tent. Yes.
That sounds like a sex thing.
Garfield Garfield looks at it and says, "Quite intriguing." And he walks over. He just inspects it for a little bit. He's like, I see a back opening. Interesting.
Wasn't there a bunch of other shit in there that we couldn't get?
No. There's
That's
nothing more than what you
all.
guys
We got
got.
everything.
Yeah, you guys got everything that was in the back. He drags it along back with him a little bit. He says, "I'd just like to check the front of it." He kind of goes around and he checks it. You see him kind of look at the face a little bit and kind of check the eyes, and you see him kind of say some words that you guys don't quite hear and don't quite understand under his breath. And he says, "This is a very well kept flesh golem, aside from some of the burns and the the slashes and the bludgeoning. I'm guessing you guys. Yes. And he looks at you, Lando. Must have been you and Ulrich. And he. What? I didn't catch that. Would you like to say that again?
No, I'm good.
Gives tight.
I didn't say anything.
Gives tight. He pulls out 15,000 gold pieces and hands it over to you.
He just pulls that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's handing it us in buckets, bro. Come on.
It's in a sack that he pulls out from seeming like a void space that's like right next to him. That he snaps his fingers. A circle appears that shimmers with black and blue. He sticks his hand in there. He says, one second. And he kind of looks like his arm's moving around a little bit. And he says, ah. And then you see him pull out a sack. The sack is comically large. Lando, it's almost the size of your stomach.
So
15,000 gold weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah,
by the way,
he's holding it with one arm, and it's just it's bulging. It is a massive sack. And he's like, "Here you go," and he pops it out in front of you.
I'm just holding my bag of holding, just like trying to get it in there.
And he's like, "Oh, okay," and he drops it in the bag of holding.
Wait, no, not his.
Zanril just like closes it and just like.
I will look at Zanril. I will look at Zanril. I say that goes at least 4. That goes 4 ways.
And I cast blink.
and he's gone forever. Yeah, and he gets terrible luck for 5 rounds and actually doesn't escape.
Yeah. So let me explain what's happening. So I didn't get to finish describing the room. So you guys still see all the mirrors that were kind of in Garfield's old space. And Zanril, as a joke, you attempt to cast some magic to just do something to be funny, and it doesn't seem to work in the space here.
I don't say anything. I'm like,
that's fine.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Garfield just kind of not quite. I don't quite like the idea that I can't just use magic on a whim. Feels like the potions that are placed almost. Yeah, and you just see Garfield say, excellent, and he pulls the flesh golem along a little bit with him, and then you see him bring it into his room over here, and then it obviously you don't see him anymore, and then he comes out over here. And he's like, excellent. Gentlemen, how have you been? It's been a while. BigYin, are you enjoying your new form? He smiles with a wide grin.
Oh, he's taunting him.
The whole thing is rather fraught, and while the power is very, very interesting, it honestly terrifies me, and I feel rather disgusting after using some of it.
He brings his hands to his face, and he's like, "Are you looking to break a contract?
If it's possible, yes.
Anything is possible with the price."
So I'll look at him. I'll just kind of like walk up to him non-threateningly, and I'll just, may I sit?
Yeah, of course. That's what these are for.
So I'll sit.
So you can alt click, and that'll move you onto where you want to be exactly.
Okay. Yep. So I'll look at him and I'll be like, I've done some thinking, and I know that sounds very dangerous. Me thinking.
Oh, BigYin, you make me laugh. You thinking? What a concept.
I know it's downright scary. Changing a form. Can you tell if I've been true polymorphed?
He looks at you and he says, Not that I can tell.
That was the one way I thought the wee bastard, the jammy bastard, might have changed me. Well. So.
Have you thought about this? Perhaps his form is something akin to that of a red dragonborn, and
that was the other thought.
This was just the form your body chose to assume to accommodate this darker magic that you're not accustomed to.
That was the other thought. Now, my family's gonna come and talk to you. They're very disturbed, and rightly so, by everything I've told them.
You told them all.
I told them.
As expected, I shouldn't be shocked.
I mean, what would it have been worth to have let them believe I was dead?
There were perks with that as well.
Well,
Then at least you died what they thought you were, instead of appearing to them in this form. But, you know, what's done is done, as per usual with you.
aye, as you're so kind to remind me. So,
On to the contract you were discussing. You would like to break your pact with your patron, huh?
possibly? Is
To-
it possible?
Comes with a cost, depending on the patron's desires. It can be quite difficult or very easy. It really just depends.
How do you determine that then?
You ask him, of course.
I get 3 questions. I admit I did not do a very good job
Negotiating. Who would have thought?
Aye.
Man, when did Garfield turn into a dick? Like, I'm saying that.
So think about this, right? When you guys were in the market town area, like the second to last time you guys saw him, essentially, you guys all but accused him of killing Valvo.
Well,
Just
I
saying.
didn't.
I'm not-
Everyone else did.
I'm just saying, just food for thought. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
well,
pointing
why
out.
is he holding such a grudge?
As he
I'd
explained,
like to point out, I
he
didn't
gave all
accuse him
those.
of killing Valor.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like in general, that is kind of what set the tone. You could probably imagine, right? And he did tell you that he gave all the magic items to Valvo. So the idea of him,
Yeah,
killing Valvo for that seems quite silly.
and I'm gonna look at Garfield. I'm gonna be like, "Look, Garfield, mild mucker. I'd like to gently remind you, I did not accuse you of killing Valvo. I
Okay,
felt
why do you bring
that was
it
rather
up?
obvious. So please, can you spare me the wee bit of malice you may have towards Ulrich, and let us talk frankly.
Fair, fine. I will drop it for now. But yes, depending on your contract and your patron, things can be changed. This is the case.
Well, in order to get him to talk to me currently, I have to at least dispatch the Zanril. I have to at least dispatch with the warlock he wanted me to dispatch in the town that I believe you have locked up somewhere.
Oh yes, yes. And he snaps his fingers, and in this bottom corner of the room, you see a shimmering box appear. It is currently fully clear. You can see through it to the back side of the wall. And after about a couple seconds, it starts to harden and form into just a seemingly like mirror-based box. And it slowly opens up, and you see 2 warlocks in the corner here. Both of them are unconscious and are just kind of slumped in the corner here.
Yep. Zanril, you remember these 2 jammy fellows?
Yeah, that wasn't a long time ago.
Well, it seems we still need to deal with them. If I recall, your patron also wanted them dealt with.
Oh yeah, for sure. How should I deal with them?
I believe my patron's words were, kill the warlock.
Oh yeah, the same here.
That 8 intelligence coming in real strong.
Oh,
Do you have?
kill him. Yeah,
I'll
sounds
just
right.
look
Yeah,
at.
kill him,
I'll look
yeah.
at. Well, no, I checked my notes. It actually
No,
didn't
that's fine.
say-
I was mostly
Zanril.
laughing at Zanril. I was mostly laughing. He's like, yeah,
Okay.
kill. That sounds about right. Yeah, that
Yeah,
tracks.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
opens
I'll
his
just
notepad
talk
that
to,
is fully blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, do you have an appropriate space
For
where we might deal with these two?
outside, or
I
or
wouldn't recommend that.
we can go to a different location.
Perhaps we might entertain you, provide you a wee bit of entertainment. 2 on 2.
Oh,
What is he
I don't
saying?
think, bro.
Bro, he's unconscious and he's just like, yeah, let's wake up those warlocks and let's have a 2v2. Let's see which one's the better ones.
Garfield says, "Oh, that is
Die, bro. That's how you die.
maybe that's his plan." He says,
I mean, I don't want to
"Okay,
drag you two into this business.
Okay,
I want
okay.
to keep Elwarin's hands.
Killing people is no problem.
Well, I'll leave you to interject if you want to get
You know,
involved,
like,
but right now
honestly-
I'm making a deal.
One Lando could like probably finish these two, you know?
Maybe.
And I'll just look at Garfield and I'll say, as it stands, the orders that I and Zanril here were given by our respective patrons was to deal with these two warlocks. Let's strike a deal. We go to a location you can provide. You get a wee bit of sport out of two prisoners you held, who caused you no small inconvenience. We get to accomplish our task by our patron, and maybe there's a bit that else can be done on the side that we can discuss later.
Intriguing. Okay.
We've already had a good bit of business with the body, with the flesh golem.
This is fair. Okay. He looks over to Lando. No, Warren. Would you like to join me in the viewing booth?
Yes, please.
Lando, viewing booth?
Is this like a viewing booth that I can like jump into the combat area, or do I?
No, it will be completely separated. We just get a full view of what's happening.
Watch the losers fight amongst the losers, you know?
Intrigued, or would you like to stay in the combat area, possibly getting hit? My bubble will prevent us from taking any damage from any zany spell that could occur.
I'll just watch. He's getting into this mess. I'll let him get him out.
Excellent. I'm excited. And with a snap of his fingers, the entire space starts to change. You feel the bricks around you start to stretch and squeeze and tighten as the room starts to change a little bit. And you guys, I'm gonna move you guys all there. Give me a second.
Can we get our like new magic items first and then
Oh, too late, brother. Too late.
Oh no.
As per usual, BigYin says something maybe he shouldn't have.
We've
and
gained a
this is
couple of levels since we fought these
We're
assholes.
Fine.
fine, indeed. Do. As you guys hear Final Fantasy music start blaring on the speakers that exist here in this magical space, of course.
You already knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, of course, it's BigYin.
So it's D&D. You have an opportunity to fight people. You're gonna fight people.
Yeah.
That's
And as you guys kind of transport to this space, the two warlocks wake up. They seem fully refreshed. Their bruises and kind of hurt areas fully restored to their original state, as they were not in the best of shape prior to this. Let me do some things real quick. Sorry. Okay, cool. Oh no, I think they're the same. Let me
You know what? I would just roll initiative.
Not yet. Give me a second. I'm still doing some stuff. Yeah. And so they kind of like wake up and they're like, huh? And both of them lock eyes with you. And what you guys see here, as BigYin and Zanril, you guys just see a glass wall that you can't see through. I know you can see through it right now because it's hard to make vision specific for different characters. But Lando, Elwarin, and Garfield, because they're sitting in very nice plush chairs, there's some popped corn behind you, a nice buttery smell along with that.
Could you pop me over there too?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot you were over here still. And we'll be getting to you shortly. Don't you worry, brother. Before this combat kicks off, we'll be going over to you with the blacksmith.
No problem. I'm just looking at the dark, at an empty
space.
room.
You're like, guys. Yeah, sorry. There you go. There you go. And it's a one-way mirror that you guys can see through. You can hear all the sounds and all the commotion from there. And Garfield looks and turns to the two of you, and says, "This is a one-way glass where you can hear everything that they say, but they can hear nothing that we say." And Zanril and BigYin, you do see you do see the two of them, and as they lock eyes on you, you feel a laughter from both of your patrons and like echo in your voice. And he says, and then Garfield projects his voice to kind of reverberate around the room. "Let the battle of the warlocks begin." And as that happens, we cut to Ulrich hanging out with the blacksmiths.
Yeah, man. It looks like they're putting on a war effort. Got to help out where I can.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is great.
I'm actually a fairly decent blacksmith in my time.
Yeah. And so you, as the group kind of disperses after BigYin's not trial, but questioning, perhaps you want to call it, you find a few of the Furbolgs are heading towards the outside down south here. They take a right kind of out that gate, and you realize that they're probably heading towards the smithy. And so you can follow them. Obviously, you can talk to people as you'd like. You are well liked and well received with your accolades being told by Ivel and Dara about your prowess in battle and kind of fighting off the giants. The group here, all the Furbolgs here, seem to be in admiration of your accomplishments and what you've done to help protect this realm.
I think I'm just gonna quietly watch what's happening at the smithy, see what everyone's working on, and maybe do an insight to see what it seems like the most pressing projects are.
Sure, yeah. So you see them working away, and after you're there for, we'll say 5 minutes or so, you see BigYin's father, or who you presume to be his father based on how events transpired, walk into the smithy. He puts on an apron, and you see him start to work on metal. He's going at it, and he is honestly not bad. Sure. You know for sure he's not a blacksmith by trade. That is, clear. The craftsmen there are obviously leagues and miles better than him, but he is not bad. He could pass for an apprentice blacksmith multiple years into their work, sort of thing. You wouldn't necessarily commission anything by him, but he can do really good repairs. He's really good at fixing up armor, and he could probably make a couple good swords. That's kind of his level of craftsmanship that you can tell just from watching him, and just your experience in the military and being around blacksmiths all the time. You recognize the amount of technician or the amount of craftsmanship and just precision he must have to be at this level without actually being a blacksmith.
Right.
And the number of years he must have been working alongside these guys once in a while, helping them out when needed, and just kind of lending a hand, kind of like what you're doing right now. Just how many years of experience you must have doing this to get to that level of craftsmanship, essentially, with this.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell what he's working on?
He's working on a set of breastplate. And and so he's not making one from scrap. It looks like the master blacksmiths have done the hard part of getting the entire form set up. And he's just kind of doing some embroidery on the edges. You see a hammer symbol into it in the top left corner. And you see he's just doing some small things attached to it. But it does require an amount of finesse that not most people with these tools would possess.
I'd like to just sort of sidle up next to him and help him.
Yeah.
In giving him materials or even hammering things out as necessary, but not really talk to him.
Sure, yeah, and he just kind of kind of sees you approach and does that typical dad thing where he just kind of like gives you like the head nod and a little bit of a grunt. And he kind of just like, makes a room for you essentially. And you guys start working on this plate, and you see like tons of weapons around. They're all, not magical by any means. None of these craftsmen are imbuing any of these with magic, but fairly well done swords, shields. You see some spears along the walls, some maces, any kind of weapon you can think of. And you see them kind of lining the walls. And then as they get done with these different like swords and spears and stuff like that, you see other people, other Firbolgs kind of walk in, other elves walk in, and they grab them as they're done and kind of put them in a pile, and see them starting to cart it out. They are in a mass production mode, it seems, on building all of these out. And as you kind of like your eyes wander, as you're kind of helping out and like kind of viewing this entire space, they're loading them onto other carts that are further out into the fields. They seem to be going in a variety of different directions after they're fully filled up. And like I said, this is like hours, right? Like this is not like a few 5 minutes the full cart is ready, because that's not how long this master craftsman take to fill up these things. But like most of these carts, you can tell were like half full when you guys rolled into town. So they've been going at it for a while at this point. And you see one of the master craftsmen take notice of you, because he finally gets a reprieve from the plate that he's like the plate mail he's been making. He says, "Oh, Master Ulrich, what brings you to here? Thank you so much for your help." And he kind of looks and he kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "Wanzros, how long has he been here?" And you see BigYin's father kind of turn and look. He says, "Olaf, he's been here for a couple hours. It's fine. He's been helpful. He's pretty good at it, honestly. He knows what he's doing."
I can roll. Roll.
Go for it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, you're better than average.
I got a 4. God damn it.
Listen, yeah, you're better than average. Like I said, so in their eyes, it's like pretty damn good, because they don't know how good you are at this, right? So in their eyes, like they just see you doing like a fairly good job. Like as you now know his name, Wanzeros is doing a little bit better of a job than you. But like I said, like with your eye, you can definitely tell like he's not trained in this, but he's not doing a bad job. And you just, because of like you're not really like trying to get too involved, you haven't been putting in your best effort, because you don't want to like you don't want to like cause a commotion, essentially, which is why the 12 makes sense here.
Yeah.
You're doing a little bit better just to kind of keep pace with Wanzeros, but like you're not trying to one-up him or trying to put too much going on here. Because obviously, if you really put your time and effort into this, you can make some really goddamn good equipment, like the rest of these guys that are, kind of like masters of their craft are doing. So yeah, so they're like, "Oh, huh. Is there anything we can do to help you? You've done quite a service to us, and actually, I do have a question for you."
Yeah.
This is the smith. This is not BigYin's father.
Sure.
How is he? How is BigYin? I mean, we understand he's no longer a Firbolg, but what has he done in your guys' adventures?
Well, he's been helpful. A little different, but helpful in his way.
And as you say that, you see BigYin's father kind of like hit into this breastplate a little bit harder than he would normally. It doesn't cause any issues with it, but you can definitely tell, like, compared to his normal kind of like pace, this was a little bit off.
Sure.
As you kind of say that, and he stops and just kind of like listens to the rest of what you're saying.
You got to keep an eye on him, because you get it. But
how
so far so good.
But like how could he really? We all thought BigYin was like kind of smart. Like, was there no other way?
As he tells it, there wasn't.
So you weren't there for it?
Remind me if I was or not. I don't want to lie to him.
I think you were not there. Yeah, you were outside specifically.
That's right. Yeah,
you were outside.
It
I
was
made the
in.
decision.
Yeah, it was you and Lando, you and Lando were outside. Yeah.
I will say, funny things happen when you're in that room with Garfield.
They both kind of tilt their head. What do you mean? Garfield's amazing. He's been helping us for generations.
He's amazing for sure. But he's willing to offer you whatever you need.
For that gives
to people.
Yeah, for a price.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is true. That is how he operates, and we all know that.
Exactly. Now imagine you could have anything you wanted. It can get to you. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair. And we've and which is funny, right? Because BigYin, you've never met Garfield prior to meeting him in Red Large. You'd never met him before. So he
never intimated that he knew my family.
Correct. But you wouldn't know this. I'm just saying, like, it's just like a funny little thing that you can put in your notes if you'd like to. Okay. Well, you see the Smith kind of look at Ronzeros, and he's like, "You're gonna need to talk to him." He's like, "Yeah.
Give him a chance. I'd give him a chance, but keep an eye on him. That's what I've been doing. It's been working out."
He's like, "The issue for me is the hammer that he saw, the one that he described." As he kind of like points over to the hammer symbol that he's kind of in he's kind of embellished onto this plate mail. And he's like, "It's not common for many Furbolg to see that. It's a
I'll
symbol."
tell you what, a lot of things we've seen is not common.
Yeah,
and honestly, it's not common for us to see a Furbolg.
It's fair. We typically tend to our forests. There's that.
Now I've seen y'all all over the place.
There are a few of us that have traveled, but most of us do tend to stay and come back to our villages in the forests.
I'm just saying, maybe don't take rarity as a reason for alarm.
I'll take that into consideration. You seem to have possibly a few years on me. And Ulrich, you wouldn't know, I guess, how old or how your boat's age, I would say. So that might come to a shock to you. Yeah, it's like that might come to a shock to you, or you might just like take it for what he says, right? Like you may not know. Yeah, because I'll let you like do with that what you will. But I don't know if you would know how Furbolgs age necessarily. But none of these Furbolgs look old to you in your eyes. Sure. And they say, "Well, if there's anything you'd be looking for here, please let us know. Love to do what we can to help."
Well, maybe we can talk a little bit later, not in this wide open area. I got a bit of a project I've been working on, doing some research.
Excellent. I love projects. And in a similar fashion to kind of how BigYin seems to get excited by magic things, when you say projects, you kind of see that a little bit of that same spark in his father's eyes when you kind of mention that, as he looks a little intrigued upon what you mean by project. And I think with that, we will end our session and we will come back to the combat of the lifetime
Ugh.
at the start of our next session.